Yo,
Yo, what's up, man?
what's up? What's up? What's up?
Woo! Woo! Man, listen,
Ooh,
man. Canelo Alvarez got exposed. He picked the wrong fucking cherry, man.
indeed.
Woo! Man, listen, man. Today we have to talk about it. Money Clown TV, your channel's officially done. You know how we always say with LeBron James, the legacy is officially done, the cachet is officially over. Money Clown TV, the legacy, which was a non-legacy, is officially done. The
Yes,
cachet
indeed.
of what we call cooning and buffooning is officially over. Your ass thought that you was gonna cap for Canelo, and that was gonna give you notoriety. But there's a good verse in the good book that tells us, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul in the process? You lost your damn soul. You came on He Knows Everything's Facebook Messenger when he first told you that you was getting ramrodded, that you was getting wheel fucking chair bounded, so you was in your feelings about this shit, saying, "Yo, he knows, man. Um, why you got a problem, man? Why you got a fucking problem? You know, why you coming at me the way you coming at me? Why you acting the way that you fucking acting?" And he knows had to say, you know what? Listen, Money, you not being real, you not being authentic, you not being what we would say real to your fucking people. And because of that, at the end of the day, you got put in your fucking place. So Monty Brown, I'm gonna tell you like this, man, because it's real recognizes real. You're gonna have to eat this L on your fucking channel. You're gonna have to eat this L. All of these Canelo Alvarez subscribers that you gain, I'm gonna tell you something about Mexican boxing community fan bases. They're fickle motherfuckers. You see, they already booing Canelo because Canelo lost. So guess what they doing right now? They're unsubscribing from your channel. I'm getting word from the He Knows Everything birdies. You losing motherfuckers left and right. That's why you ain't dropping no content. And that's why your ass is put in the fucking place of where you need to be fucking put at. Boxing guy said Monty Brown was a huge he knows the sport fan. I don't know where all this Canelo worship came from. Listen, man, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Monty Brown is one of those niggas that I rose up in the ranks too. That's what a lot of motherfuckers don't understand. I rose that nigga, but I didn't raise his ass to be no damn Canelo Alvarez fan. I rose his ass up under the mold of Errol the True Spence. That nigga left. So now I got to get on his ass. Ross, man, what you got to say, dog?
This mindset of because they had made a mindset basically Canelo could do no wrong. This mindset of Canelo being able to jump weight classes when a mandatory didn't fit who he wanted to fight, and people accepting that, it was always a problem to me because they were trying to act like Canelo's too big. Hold on.
Let me take off that banner. Be with y'all shortly.
Yeah. They were trying to act like Canelo was too big of a person to fight at 160. He only 5'7". There was no reason for Canelo to be fighting at 175 pounds, man.
Exactly.
He only 5'7". So what was he trying to avoid?
Jamal Charlo.
What was he trying
Demetrius
to avoid? Please don't say Canelo's too. Man, he was too big because if Floyd would have came out of retirement and said, I want to fight Canelo at 160, he would have lost the weight.
David Benavidez.
He was running away from problems, and he ran into one.
Yep.
You only can cherry pick for so long. That's the reason why I tell people when people like Floyd's only great because he cherry picked. If he was cherry picking, guess what? He would eventually pick the wrong cherry.
Exactly.
Well, you great. You can't because you can't cherry pick your subject greatness.
And Floyd wasn't cherry picking. Floyd was proven that he could transcend. There's a difference between cherry picking and there's a difference between transcending weight class. He was proving that he was transcending weight class to weight class. That's the difference between a fighter that's transitioning weight classes and a guy that's cherry picking. If Canelo was smart, he would have made his bread and his money at 160, because 160 is the transitional division in boxing. That's where his natural weight was at. You know what Bivol showed him last night? You don't belong at 175. I'm too fucking strong for your ass. And he was punished for that shit.
Win, lose, or draw. If Canelo would have fought all those guys at 160, then he would have went down the legend.
Yep.
But because he didn't fight those guys, he went up. He got so many fights on his resume that don't make no sense. Nobody was asking for. He fights Bivol. He looks bad. He almost got stopped in the last round. He looks bad. He gets booked by Bivol. Finally, somebody at 175 who actually got a full camp.
Yep. 9 to 13 week training camp, dog. Eddie Hearn
no
fucking play.
And it wasn't just because Bivol was bigger. Bivol was boxing with Canelo. They were boxing. He ain't going there just walk Canelo down, just beat on him. He was out boxing Canelo.
Exactly.
Canelo was bad, man. He ain't learned absolutely shit from the fight.
And you know the thing, Ross? There's levels to whiteness. Canelo's Anglo-Saxon like Eddie Hearn, but he got a Hispanic background, right? Eddie Hearn is Anglo-Saxon. So you're not gonna pull that wolf over him. And if he signed you with a big contract for you to have a few fight deals, you're not gonna do this shit where you're gonna just do 6-week training camp. You gotta let the motherfucker do 9 to 13 weeks. That's how the shit has to roll. It's gonna have to be on fair terms. But here's the other thing too. Eddie Reynoso is overrated like a motherfucker. Ryan Garcia was exposing Canelo. I don't know if you saw Ryan Garcia's post, but he was exposing Canelo at the end of this fight. He said that was the thing that I was trying to tell Canelo Alvarez as we were sparring. He said Canelo just doesn't move. Canelo doesn't have footwork like people think that he is, and Canelo's stationary. Because he said I'm a smaller guy, but in sparring, I was basically laterally zigzagging around him. And he said, I would imagine if he fought guys that were big and athletic and had the speed that I had, or they were explosive, they would basically expose Canelo Alvarez. That's what Ryan Garcia said in his community post. I mean, his Twitter or his tweets. He exposed Canelo because he's no longer under Eddie Reynoso no more.
Eddie Reynoso. Gotta understand, all this is unraveling, man. All these guys are unraveling. All that's the thing about sports. They always give you either great white hope, or they get behind a black person is normally a time. They always give you these guys they want you to root for, and it's never built on any truth.
Yep.
Bud Crawford is gonna get exposed.
Yep.
All these guys got exposed.
Interesting, Ross, that it was right after Oscar Valdez. This guy that was in his camp. This is back to back. This is making Derrick James. You want to know why I put up Derrick James, Ross? I put up Derrick James because it's showcasing to everybody how overrated Eddie Reynoso is and how they basically overlook Derrick James and keep giving Eddie Reynoso this damn trainer of the year when we know damn well Derrick James should be getting it. Jamel Charlo got 3 fucking belts. Errol the True Spence got 3 fucking belts. And he got a young champion that's in man down strap season. Then Frank Martin that just washed the motherfucker a few months ago. I mean, come on, man.
But this is gonna be this year is gonna be the year that Derrick James get it because Canelo lost. As long as Canelo kept winning, they're gonna give it to Eddie Reynoso because they're not giving it to the black man. They never gave Floyd Sr. or his brother a coach of the year, bro.
Yep.
Imagine that.
Yep.
They created arguably the best fighters who ever put on gloves. They don't get a coach of the year.
Yep.
Derrick James will have a coach of the year off what he did with Errol Spence alone.
Yep.
Errol Spence went through a life-altering, damn near death experience, and now back on top.
3 times over. Shit.
That's why I tell people we can't be resting our laurels on awards that the establishment gives us. Whether they get the award or not, we have to still hold each other up in our greatness.
Facts.
If a nigga don't get the Oscars, fuck the Oscars. They don't get the Grammy they supposed to get, fuck those Grammys.
Yep.
Fuck that award. That award don't mean nothing, so Derrick James get it.
Exactly.
Derrick James gonna bring prestige to the award. Right now, the award is trash. Two
Yep.
guys, a coach that got the award, his fighters are PED users. That award ain't got no prestige.
And Freddie
It
Roach.
don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing.
They robbed Floyd Mayweather Sr. They robbed Roger Mayweather of those awards, man, for years. And they robbing Derrick James, man. They robbed Ronnie Shields, man, with Jamal Charlo. Man, I can name a lot of people they have robbed over the years for that fucking award, man. It's ridiculous.
Because if you one thing the Mayweathers are, they're unapologetically black, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not saying the shit they want you to say and act a certain way, then they don't want to give you those awards, man. The reason why, what's the name? He was a great coach.
Calvin Ford.
Nah, I'm talking about Lennox Lewis's Lennox Lewis.
Oh, Emmanuel Stewart.
He was a great coach, but he didn't get it because he was a great coach. He got it because he used to kiss their ass, man.
Yep.
Emmanuel Stewart used to do a lot of ass kissing the white people. That's why he got it.
Yep.
Because if he wasn't like that, he would have never got those awards.
Yeah, he wouldn't have got that announcement job where he could just speak and say the things that he needed to say. You're right. He told the line. But one thing we got to give Emmanuel Stewart credit for, he was a hella fucking trainer.
What I'm saying is he deserved the awards for sure. He deserved the awards. I'm saying that's not why he got the awards.
Yep,
he got him because he was kissing them folks' ass.
You absolutely right about that. And
Roger Mayweather and Floyd Sr. supposed to have awards.
The Floyd Mayweather Sr. was robbed, I think, 5 times. Roger Mayweather was robbed probably like 4 or 5 times. And I'm going to tell you who else was robbed. Calvin Ford, Gervonta Tank Davis, the year that he washed Jose Pedraza, he should have had that shit that year in the fucking bag. And then when Gervonta Tank Davis went up and washed fucking Mario Barrows, he went up in the weight class that he shouldn't have been dealing with somebody else. If you wasn't going to give it to Derrick James, get that motherfucking shit to Gervonta Tank Davis, because right before Mario Barrows, he had Leo Santa Cruz on a meme, man. A motherfucker was putting Leo Santa Cruz 6 feet under on a meme. This is how crazy the shit was. So at the end of the day, Monnie Clown TV, your channel is done. This is what I want you guys to do. Every motherfucker that's Mexican, we already know your ass gonna excoriate your ass up out of the channel because you're not loyal for shit. You're probably gonna look at him and say, man, you a black man supporting a Mexican fighter. That means you really don't even support your own. So if you don't support your own, how can we support you? That means you have no integrity. See, that's what these Mexicans are thinking.
Right, that's how they think. They're not like us. If somebody's skilled, we show love to them.
Yep.
They don't like us as a people. We could be in love with our people, but still show love to other races that's skilled. I love my people, but I can't admit
88 times the foot on Canelo's neck. LOL. Go ahead, Ross.
Yeah, salute and donate to motivate, y'all. Donate to motivate.
There you go.
I can love my people, but still admit that there's some great white actors. I don't gotta say all white actors are trash because they're not black. That's not the truth. I can love my people and still enjoy a show that there ain't no black people on. We could do that. Other races can't.
Yep.
Other races, now that the Canelo lost, they gonna lose interest in boxing.
Exactly.
This niggas are not even gonna watch boxing until Canelo get a win against somebody.
Yep.
Because their investment is not to see good boxing. Their investment is race, pride, and being prejudiced to other races.
Yep. And no one respects sellouts, man. No one respects sellouts. And Monnie Brown TV, your channel is officially done. I told your rabbit ass. You should have fucking listened. Your rabbit ass don't fucking listen. IBFP, I'm not going to go as far as to say your channel's done because we frenemies, but your ass going to have to fucking submit. I better see some videos where because you know you're good for doing those videos. I better see some videos where you say, look here, man, I overestimated Canelo. Spence is because you did a video the other day about Spence saying Spence is the truth. So drop that fucking video and say Spence is the face of boxing. You do that, your channel is saved. And the reason why you have the reason why you could save your channel over Monnie is because your ass been a Canelo fan from day one. Me and Ross could respect that. You was riding for Canelo from day one. Monnie, basically went from being an Errol Spence fan. He thought that being an Errol Spence fan wasn't enough. He left the ship, and then he became a Canelo Alvarez to push his fucking channel. That's a sellout, man. No one respects a fucking sellout. So his fucking channel needs to be done. Every motherfucker that had to listen to these stupid ass videos, well, Canelo said, every fucking day there was a, well, Canelo said, all of those videos are now trash. Canelo said he got his ass whooped by the wrong motherfucking cherry.
Now, guess what Canelo said? Canelo said he got robbed. That's why I watched the fight before I even said nothing. I watched the fight. Yep. Canelo won 2 rounds, barely.
Yep.
And those rounds could go either way. Someone could say if someone told me Canelo lost every round, I wouldn't argue with them.
Yep.
And somebody's like, man, Canelo lost every fucking round. I wouldn't even argue with him because the rounds I saw for him were rounds where you could say, damn, who won that? It was more like draws, but you can't draw a round. Somebody got to win it. So it was like Bivol won every round, and then some rounds he didn't win as consistently.
Yep.
Then salute to Jordan Sitch Bishop, man. The only one, the very few who donate to motivate every fucking time.
Donate to motivate.
I agree with Tom Ross TV. True Boston fans don't care about skin tone. We care about skill. Thanks. He knows and Tom Ross for exposing fake. Exactly, because I like Louis Neary.
Yep. We love Louis Neary. We love David Benavidez.
Neary because he fucked around and got that beef.
Yep.
So I held him to the same standard that I held everybody else. But I like Louis Neary. He was.
I like David Benavidez. David Benavidez is just as much of a brother as a brother come. He challenges you. He got swag. That motherfucker can box his ass off, and he got power.
I like Benavidez. I used to like Canelo, so Canelo started doing fuck shit. First, he started with the clenbuterol.
Yep.
So for me to be great, you can't use no substances, man.
You can't be doing boxing, judging, gifting decisions.
Man, before that, he started with making his own weight class at 154, fight at 153 and shit.
Well, it started with Triple G. Remember, right before he even started dealing with black fighters, right? It started with Triple G. He was trying to duck Triple G when Triple G was knocking motherfuckers out. He wanted to fight Triple G at 152 instead of 152 don't exist, nigga.
That don't exist.
It don't fucking exist. Fight that motherfucker at the weight class you're supposed to fight him at. He was 160.
That's what people will kill me. They like, man, Floyd, he beat Floyd because Floyd got him at a catchweight. No, Canelo was fighting at that weight class. He was fighting at 152. He just didn't want to fight Floyd at 152. He wanted to fight Floyd at 154, like he supposed to be a fighter. But he fought everybody else at a different weight because people don't realize that changed when you got to change this a pound, it changed how you train.
Yep.
If you steady training from 154, you can do that in your sleep. Now, if you got to train for something else, now you got to either overtrain or you might undertrain and you might fuck around and lose a fight on the scales.
Yep.
All that shit was trickery, man. Canelo was never like that.
Yep.
It was never like, think about it. He told Spence got to fight him at 168.
168. Spence, that's you know how many weight classes up from 147 that shit is? When at the end of the day, Spence was basically saying, let's do catch weight 164, which is reasonable because if you look at the weight differentials, it's respectable on both sides of the aisle. You couldn't even fucking do that.
Canelo want to come in at 180, 190 pounds. That's why.
Yep.
That's why he want to do that shit.
Yep.
Just like when he fought against Floyd, he came in at 172 fucking pounds. Canelo always trying to salute the EJ88. Canelo always trying to do some. He always trying to do some fuck shit, man.
Man, let me say what EJ88 said because EJ88 know I've said this. He know I've said this plenty of times, and Ross has uttered it too. I said that Canelo and LeBron are the same. I told people Canelo is the LeBron of boxing, man, and LeBron is the Canelo of basketball. I told motherfuckers this shit. They are smoking mirrors, man. They always like the easiest path. And EJ88, I'm gonna read your shit. You said, told y'all, Canelo and LeBron are very similar. Smoking mirrors and both used to getting swept. LOL. Facts.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. And that's the problem. People actually wanted to like Canelo Canelo made himself unlikable by doing all this fucking ducking. And you know who else don't get the knock for ducking, but they be ducking too? Triple G be ducking too, man.
Yep.
Triple G don't want to fight Charlo either, and he don't want to fight Andrade either, man. These motherfuckers just want to fight each other for the rest of their career.
Yep. Triple G ducks, but you know what's the difference between Triple G and Canelo? If push comes to shove with Triple G and they box his ass in the corner, he's gonna do it. Whereas with Canelo could get boxed in the corner and still find a way to crawl his ass up out of that corner, man. That's the difference.
Take his ass all the way up to 175, man. Is that as soon as he fought a prime 175 dude with a full count, he got down there, his career ended.
And me and Ross has been quoted late 2020. This is why we get all the credit. We said the 5 people that Canelo, if Canelo fights them at their best, they got a full 9 to 13 week training camp. We said Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, David Benavidez, Dimitri Bivol, and Arthur Beterbiev. We said that shit.
Yeah, Arthur Beterbiev.
We quoted that shit. We told motherfuckers that shit, and that's exactly what happened. Because he wasn't fighting a Sergey Kovalev that was coming off of being concussed for 6 weeks. He was fighting a live game light heavyweight, and this is why it's a cherry gone wrong. Because Bivol, here's the catch here, Ross. You're gonna laugh. Before this fight, Bivol had taken off over a year off. That's what Canelo was banking on. The fact that this dude didn't fight in over a year, he thought he was rusty, and he was gonna beat him.
Bivol showed Canelo mercy.
He said
had Canelo gone to PBC, he would have got annihilated by Spence, Charlo, and Benavidez. The thing about it is Bivol, I think he kind of believed in the hype a little bit too in the first 3 rounds. Just jabbing. Then once he realized, oh, this motherfucker can't fuck me, he started letting loose and started putting paws on Canelo goofy ass. I was like, God, yeah. I said, man, this motherfucker. Canelo cannot. I ain't gonna say he can't box. He's definitely a better boxer than me. But when he in there with elite guys, he can't box.
Exactly.
Dude wasn't even trying to beat him up. He was just outboxing him. He made him look stupid. Canelo thought he was gonna get. This is how you know Canelo take people for granted. He's like, man, this is another European straight up and down fighter. I'm gonna wash him easy. Yeah, like, nah, dude has some spice for your ass, didn't he? that chicken was not no shake and bake. That chicken has some sweet baby rays on it, didn't it? That chicken has some sweet baby rays on it.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, me and Ross, y'all gotta learn this lesson with us. Me and Ross are prophets, man. We're seers, dog. We're Nostradamus, man. And the thing with me and Ross is we put our mouth on you, and we put our mouth on you in a way that's like a warning. You gotta heed to that shit. If you don't heed to it, woe unto you, dog. Ross did it in a very gentleman, quarterly fashion with Monnie Brown. He told him, look, my brother, you going down the wrong path. Ross did it in a good cop way.
Yeah,
this nigga didn't listen. Exactly. Yeah. He's your brother at the end of the day. He didn't listen. Me, I did it in the bad cop. And the reason why I did it in the bad cop version is because you was stunting. Actually, I started off as a good cop because it all started when you tried to say that Jerron Ennis was on Errol Spence's level. You was mad. I went on your channel and spanked you on your fucking channel for that shit. That's the biggest and the first L you've ever had in a fucking debate. You haven't recovered from that shit. Then from that point on, you went into this soliloquy of being a Canelo fan. And then you basically said, you know what? Fuck these black fighters. That's exactly what you did when you did that. You basically said, fuck your own. My own are not progressing in the way that I view them as progressing. So let me get on this Canelo sellout bandwagon. And everybody saw that. So HeKnowsEverything had to bring it out and put it out publicly that this is what you were doing. It wasn't nothing personal. It was like, come on, you better than that. Why are you sitting here selling out? Why are you sitting here eating out a cinnamon ass crack of a guy who gives 2 flying fucks about you? He don't even care about black fighters. He don't even care about the sport itself. He always shitting on Floyd. He's always shitting on Mike Tyson. When you ask Canelo and you box him into a corner, his real opinion about black fighters, he's always saying that motherfucker. If you know his connotation with motherfucker, it's the equivalent of saying that nigger. This is the guy that you were selling out for months. And then when Caleb Plant called him a motherfucker, basically, you know, there's levels to this Caucasian shit. When he called him a motherfucker, Canelo took it as an offense, and that's why Canelo was trying to punch him, and this shit had turned around being a fucking slap.
he knew he was being racist when he was using it. That's why he took it as offense. When you if you want to take it, motherfucker, as an offense, if you didn't use it that way.
Yep.
But when he used it, he knew what he was saying when he was using it.
Yep.
He knew what he was saying. But here's my thing. I don't believe boxer fans got to be fans of just one boxer. I believe boxer fans need to be true. Yep. So if he would have been a fan of Canelo, that would have been fine if Canelo was actually doing all the shit they were saying.
Exactly.
But how you gonna be a fan of a PED user?
Yep.
How you gonna be a fan of somebody who ducks, who jumps around and don't want to fight people? That right there don't have the integrity that the channel was known for. And that's why I said something, because if I didn't give a fuck about, Monnie Brown, because that's my guy. If I didn't give a fuck about, I wouldn't have said nothing.
Yep.
I wouldn't have cared. I'd be like, man, I don't agree with that shit, but I said something. I'm like, man, he gotta know that this shit ain't gonna last forever. It's gonna look bad.
Yep.
And that scorecard,
it tells you in the good book, when your brother does something, you got to chastise him. That's what I did. I chastised you. It felt like it was hard, but that's what I was doing. I was chastising you because you knew you was wrong and you knew what you was doing. You knew exactly what me and Ross was looking at it like, this nigga know exactly what the fuck he's doing. And he's doing it on fucking purpose. We've said this shit for months and months. I was like, this nigga right here is actually selling the fuck out. And then you had the nerve to pull, basically, you tried to pull an Ibfp, but it went wrong. See, the reason why that shit worked for Ibfp because he's been a Canelo fan from day one. And the difference between him and you is this motherfucker's never shown his face. So we don't know if his ass is black or fucking Mexican. Your ass is black.
Right. He says all that sellout shit behind a screen. We don't know what he looks like. Your face attached to all this shit. It'll be one thing if it was. It would have been one thing if it was who's the Mexican fighter I got a lot of respect for.
Mikey Garcia.
I don't got respect for Mikey Garcia. It would have been one thing if it was the guy that could go at it with Pacquiao all the time. Juan Manuel Marquez. If you was a fan of him and during when he was going through all that shit, I would respect it because he could actually box. He's, you know what I mean? But Canelo, after all the shit, like the PEDs, the ducking, the catchweights, the rehydration clauses, you fought Danny Jacobs after he had cancer surgery right away. Again, didn't give him a rehydration clause, and then gave him so he couldn't get big.
Yep.
Like you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck no, man. Like,
yep.
You know what I'm saying? Every time he fought somebody, a black fighter, it was always at some type of advantage for him. And you still end up losing. Yep. How the fuck you lose to a little ass Floyd Mayweather Jr. that's old as hell? 11 years older than you. You supposed to, if you great, even though he's great, you're supposed to make easy work of him if you're great. You see what Floyd did to Hernandez?
Yep.
Hernandez was whooping everybody else's ass. Floyd made easy work of him because he was really great. When you're really great, you don't lose to no old fighters.
Yep. Listen, man, if y'all not supporting, if y'all not coming in, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Ross. Y'all coming in trying to support y'all own bullshit ass organizations. You're supporting the organization of HeKnowsEverything and Tom Ross. We are two independent organizations. If you're not coming in here and saying salute to HeKnows and Tom Ross or support to HeKnows and Tom Ross and thank you to HeKnows and Tom Ross, we don't give a fuck about no LGBTQ, whatever the fuck bullshit titles y'all motherfuckers want to bring in this bullshit, man. HeKnows and Tom Ross. That's what y'all fucking need to say. Fuck out of here with that bullshit.
And if you thirsty as hell, you just got to say LDBC. That shit better be a super chat.
Exactly.
That's the only way that shit coming up to here.
These niggas don't get the credit. The credit comes to HeKnows, an independent organization, and Tom Ross TV, an independent organization, because we said the shit. We said this motherfucker was gonna get exposed. Those niggas was licking Canelo Alvarez's ass. They was following Monnie Clown TV too.
They was on the and if it wasn't, they was on the fence. They were never definitive like myself and HeKnows. They were on the fence, saying things tongue in cheek. Like, no, we were the ones saying off the rip, like, this motherfucker took a franchise belt. After that, That shit should have been apparent to everybody what he was about. When he didn't fight Charlo, how you let somebody get your belt?
Yep.
That's your peer of yours.
Yep.
You don't fight him. That's a clear sign that you're afraid of him.
Yep.
A clear sign.
Yep. And IBFP, you already know. Hey, listen, you already sent me a response on Twitter. And I told your ass, I said, you know, Errol Spence is the real face of boxing. So I know the video's coming because I know you smart. You're a smart businessman. So you're gonna make a little submission video. All I want you to do is submit. That's it. Do your little submission video, you'll be all right. Monnie Brown TV, this is the only way you're gonna save yourself. You need to do a public proclamation. I want all y'all everybody that's listening, go back to Monnie Brown and tell him this is the only way he's gonna save himself. He needs to do a video. It's a public proclamation video. That shit need to be 5 minutes or longer, where he's apologizing to HeKnowsEverything, and he's apologizing to Tom Ross TV, and he's saying, man, you guys were right. You guys were trying to talk me off the ledge. I was on some sucker sellout shit, and I learned from my mistake, and I won't do that shit no more. You don't do a video like that, your channel is done. That's the only way you saving your fucking channel. You only saving your channel by admitting what the fuck you did. You was on some sucker sellout shit. You need to admit that you was on some sucker sellout shit. Until you do that, your ass is going to be in the fucking gutter. And that's all I got to say with that.
Exactly, bro. And that's the problem. Here's another thing. I wouldn't say Canelo ruined the sport. I would say Canelo was ruining the sport, but you always got Spence. You had Wilder, you got Tank, you got the PBC. The PBC is what keeping the sport alive.
Yep.
Because these guys, they have to fight competition and stay relevant. They don't have no choice. And Jamal Charlo would be more relevant if people like Canelo and Triple G wasn't running from him.
Yep.
It's not that he don't want to fight competition. They don't want to fight him.
Well, guess what, Ross? Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade got leverage over Canelo now. Because the whole reason why they wanted to fight Canelo was for the payday and the cachet. It wasn't nothing else. Canelo no longer has the payday he's bringing, and he no longer has the cachet because he got to work his ass from scratch. So he got to beg those motherfuckers for a fight now.
Right.
They got the leverage right now.
Exactly. Payday. You ain't even get no crazy payday when you fight Canelo. It ain't like it's a Floyd Mayweather payday.
Nah.
Canelo acted like he was giving niggas crazy paydays.
Nah.
Get the fuck out of there. That payday was regular. That shit wasn't no Mayweather payday.
Nah, it wasn't.
Here in a couple of years, Spence payday gonna be way bigger than the Canelo payday. Exactly. Here in a couple of years, man.
After the Terrence Crawford fight, truth be told, after the Terrence Crawford fight, truth be told, after the Terrence Crawford fight, Errol Spence is probably his payday for a fighter fighting him is probably gonna be in I would say the 30s and the $40 million. That's gonna be the fucking range. Yep. From every fight on after that, it's gonna be like that. And Spence is probably gonna be walking away anywhere between, I would say, 60 to 100 million a fight. That's what I think. After the Terrence Crawford fight, that's what his payday is gonna be, including back end fucking money.
Canelo can't be near one of them guys, man.
Nah.
He just got outboxed by somebody at 175.
Yep. And then Terrence Crawford
outboxed him.
Terrence Crawford had the fucking nerve to say now he's number one. How the fuck are you number one when you got a what Bob's orders belt?
Who the fuck is how are you number one?
Number one.
To be number one, pound for pound, the first criteria, you gotta be the best fighter at your weight class. Nigga. You ain't the best fighter in your weight class. How's you pound for pound?
Exactly.
They just be making shit up, man. Like nothing makes sense no more.
Yep. His ass is next. His ass is next to get fucking washed. He gonna get washed, man. I'm telling you.
On the pound for pound list don't mean it's like a lot of shit with the shit when Floyd retired.
Mm-hmm.
They just nothing made sense anymore. The pound for pound list don't even make sense. How the fuck you on the pound for pound list if you're a PED user, number one?
Exactly.
And if you not even the best in your weight class.
Exactly.
These are simple things to eliminate. Like damn, Errol Spence got 2 belts. You only got 1, and you ain't been fighting no competition. There's no way you could be higher than him. What you did at 140 don't matter no more.
It don't fucking matter.
140 is like the minor leagues compared to 147, man.
Exactly.
The only way you can solidify what you did at 140 is you come to 147 and you do the same thing.
Exactly.
That nigga be like, oh, that nigga the truth. Oh, he really
Exactly.
real. Anybody can be cold at 140, man.
Exactly.
It's all about
Exactly.
147. Why you think Floyd went up there? He beat up Arturo Gatti. He immediately went to 147.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, man, I ain't gonna get no credit for whooping these niggas, man. These niggas easy work. I gotta go to 147. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, y'all gotta donate. Y'all gotta donate to motivate, man. I mean, me and Ross, we've been proven like gurus. We've showed you guys that we're the Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant of this shit. Donate to motherfucking motivate, man. Y'all should be pouring out your donations left and right. Y'all go on these bullshit ass channels and go salute and drop $100, $50. I see y'all motherfuckers, man. Y'all need to be opening y'all fucking wallets and donating to motherfucking motivated, man. Because we giving y'all that real. We called this shit definitive and we gave y'all that real shit. So donate to motherfucking motivate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. The shit was never hard to see. People just ignoring it.
Mm-hmm.
Errol got 3 belts now. I'm talking about Errol just got 3 belts. He ain't always had 3. He had 2 for a while. I'm talking about back in a couple of years ago. They was talking about Crawford this, Crawford that. How the fuck you better than somebody who got more belts than you in your own weight class?
The
that
whole
don't
time.
Even make no sense.
The whole fucking time.
That don't make no sense.
There was not a time that Crawford ever had more fucking belts than Errol Spence. So how was he always above him in the pound for pound list? The shit didn't make absolutely no sense. Now Spence has 3 belts to his 1, and he had the rabbit ass nerve to sit here and say he was number 1. That's why I went on Twitter and G checked his ass, man. And he was feeling some type of way about the shit. G fucking checked his ass. I said, that's why your ass is next. Your rabbit ass gonna get washed. Can't wait till that bell rings in the first round, man. When he gets that first body shot, it's gonna be like a rude awakening. He's gonna realize he wasn't in the ring with the guy that he thought he was gonna be in the ring with. If you notice, his energy is not the same. His ass went ahead and got over with Snack. Basically, they say Errol Spence is supposedly illegal, right? But at the same time, let's see, you with Snack, you with Victor Conte. Victor Conte is known for doping. He's known for PEDs. He's known for illegal substances. He's known for this shit. But they want to sit here and tell you that he has the nerve for it to be 50-50. How the hell? 3 belts to 1. Are we not doing the math here? Are we not adding up the fact that you don't belong in the ring with fucking Errol Spence? And that's why Errol Spence told you, enough with the bullshit fucking talk. Say less. Wait till that motherfucking bell rings, and we're going to see if your ass keep talking. And you notice he ain't say shit since then. Because he knows. The body shots are coming. The blinding jabs are coming. The closing of the eye is coming. The brutalizing devastation of utter destruction is coming. The Terminator is coming. The T-1000 is coming. The fact that he is Budlight too light in the fucking caboose is coming. Tactical aggression is coming. Technical punching placement is coming. Body snatching work, the levying onslaught of the punishment styles coming. Spence is going to break this motherfucker down, man. He's going to embarrass him. He's going to expose him. And this is right here in boxing what we call exposures on top of exposures. If you guys look at calendar 2021 and 22, what you guys have noticed in these last 2 years is boxing has seen 3 exposures. From Manny Pacquiao with Dennis Ugas, it started with that, to now Dimitri Bivol with Canelo Alvarez, to then it's going to be Errol Spence with Terrence Crawford. These 3 fucking fighters that y'all promoted are getting exposed one after the other. And y'all going to look stupid out here for backing these fucking fighters when He Knows and Tom Ross told y'all from day one, they not what you think they are. They're smoking fucking mirrors. They never were the fucking fighters that y'all thought.
We've been telling y'all for years, bro.
Yep.
Years.
Yep.
I had like 60 subscribers when I first started telling y'all this shit, man.
Yep.
Now I'm up for anyone want to listen.
Yep. Niggas want to come on this shit and get mad and show their feelings. We ain't got time for no negativity. If you ain't donating to motivate, we don't got no energy for that shit. You want to come on this shit with your feelings and your emotions? You mad because Monty Brown's channel's TV is done. That's why that nigga ain't dropping no content. What does he have to say? He ain't got no room to say Canelo said. That's what was giving him numbers. Let's be honest. That's what was pushing the thumb for the motherfucker. Canelo said. Where's the Canelo said videos? He can't run with the fact that Canelo was robbed. It'll make him look weak. He's in a catch-22, though.
No, he already dropped the video saying Canelo was robbed.
And what ended up happening when he did that shit? He had the most thumbs down ever that he's ever experienced in a fucking video. And he hasn't dropped the video ever since. He's had some of the most inflammatory response. I don't know because I don't watch the fucking videos. He knows everything birdies report back daily and told me. They said, man, this motherfucker is hurting. He knows you told this motherfucker. You tried to talk him off the ledge. And then when he tried to get out and try to scoot his ass up out of there, Ross said, nope, you can't try to get out easy. Ross got him on the back end, though. I got him on the front end. Ross got him on the back. He's basically sandwiched. You are in what's called a He Knows and a Tom Ross catch-22. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. The only thing Monnie Brown could do at this point is drop a public proclamation video. My name needs to come out of his rabbit-ass mouth. Tom Ross TV's name need to come out of his rabbit-ass mouth and say these two brothers were trying to talk me off the ledge. They were trying to help us. They were trying to help me, but I wouldn't listen, and I was on some sucker sellout shit. This is the only way you're going to save your channel. Other than that, motherfuckers know you on some sucker sellout shit. They going to expose you for the shit. I know because I see the comments coming in on my channel. Ross see the comments. They're like, yeah, man, this motherfucker out of nowhere started supporting Canelo Alvarez. This motherfucker out of nowhere started being on some sucker sellout shit. Even guys that He Knows Everything called solid dudes, the real Marlo TV, after a while, he got annoyed with fucking Monnie Brown TV. Like, what the fuck? I don't even recognize this motherfucker's identity. Because at the end of the day, you know when a motherfucker is selling out, man. You know it. We've seen sellouts, man. And there was a guy by the name of D. Jefferson that was on my channel that was a ultimate fucking sellout, and Ross killed him. Ironically, Ross barbecued his ass on Monnie Brown TV's channel. And Monnie Brown TV ends up becoming like that dude. You end up becoming that same dude that you were constantly going up against and constantly saying shit against. Come on, man.
Because there's a quick short success in being a sellout. It's a fast track, right?
Yep.
But once you expose, it's a fast way down as well. You got to build slowly, man. You know what I mean? I can speak the truth on my channel because my channel was built slowly.
Yep.
It wasn't an overnight success. It was built slowly, so I don't have to worry about a big demographic of keeping the demographic happy and saying shit that's against my morals. My biggest video is with a guy that it's about a guy that I actually think is the best of all time. So that's my demographic. Floyd Mayweather gave me 1.some million a video I did about him. So I don't have to say nothing I don't agree with because my demographic think like me. But when your demographic think diametrically opposed to how you really think, you got to be like two people. You know what I mean? Like, oh hell no, I can't do that.
And here's the thing. And if you guys notice, I'm an authentic dude, man. I'm a guy by principle, man. As Ross went up the ranks, I supported him. I saluted him because I saw what he was going to be. I saw his greatness, man. As I went through whatever turmoil I went through because of the fact that I'm controversial or truth-telling or motherfuckers didn't want to hear my extreme stance on shit, my channel was always going to be above water because I give you guys an excellent delivery, an excellent level of oration ability, and this cadence is always authentic and consistent from day one. And like Ross, growing slowly but surely. But last time I checked, the turtle wins the fucking race, not the hare. So I was always going to do what I was going to do. And I already basically created a void of respect. And I demanded that shit. But at the same time, I never disrespect people. I never went out of line to say things about people that was not the truth. If I said something about you in a negative way, it was because there was truth behind it. Whether people, it took them yesterday to figure it out, today to figure it out, or it took them 1,000 years to figure it out. Eventually, people figure it out. They're down. This motherfucker, you know, everything he always says, that shit always come back. It always come back. I don't know how that shit come back. It always come back. I may have not seen the forecast of it because you guys are not visionaries like me. You're not Nostradamus like me, not a seer like me, not a prophet like me. I don't expect y'all motherfuckers to see what I can fucking see. But you gonna see it eventually. And I told you guys, Monty Brown was gonna have this crash that he was gonna have if he didn't err away from things concerning the faith of getting back on the brother side of things. He didn't want to fucking listen. And then you had a bunch of these cockroaches that built their channels off of Monty Brown. They hurting too. There's a bunch of cockroaches that did the same shit. They were supposedly Errol Spence fans. That's why I told you, you got a bunch of fake as fuck Errol Spence fans. You can't be an Errol Spence fan and a Canelo fan at the same time. It's one or the other. Either you're a Spence fan or you're Canelo, because they're diametrically opposed to one another.
They're different.
His fans go off of heavyweight lifting and off of the reality of Spence fighting real opponents, live game opponents, and putting in work. Canelo fans go off of smoke and mirrors, faking it. They go off of rehydration clauses, boxing, judging, gifting decisions. They go off of nonsense. So you can't have both. And you can't promote both because both are not the same. Canelo Alvarez is undisputed is the equivalent of you taking a shit 100 times over. Let me say it again. His undisputed is the equivalent of you taking a shit 100 times over because he's not undisputed. He didn't beat no damn David Benavidez, but David Benavidez was stripped. So how the fuck was he undisputed in the first place? When you're undisputed, it means there is no fucking dispute.
There's no question.
Yes.
How you undisputed when your whole career is all questions?
Exactly. How you undisputed when you said, and see, this is how you know black boxing community fan bases was full of shit. They sit here and every time Canelo wins, they say Canelo is a hellified champion because they don't want to be adverse. They don't want to dare to be different. They don't want to go diametrically opposed to what everybody else is saying, man.
Mm-hmm.
They want to sit there and follow and basically say he's a champion. No, he's not. Not when he's beating journeymen. When he beat BJ Saunders came off of a long-ass layoff and he beat a fucking journeyman and went tooth and nail. How did you think that fight was going to pan out when he fought Canelo? When he fought James Kirkland didn't even have Ann Wolfe. He wouldn't even let Ann Wolfe train James Kirkland because they knew if Ann Wolfe would have trained James Kirkland, Canelo would have got his ass beat the fuck up. Because James Kirkland, if you really pay attention to his boxing style, it's very similar to a Mike Tyson. And Ann Wolfe was basically that trainer that channeled that Mike Tyson is in James Kirkland. James Kirkland would have put unlimited pressure, lateral movement on Canelo. He would have fucked Canelo up bad. But Canelo's team knew we can't have this guy at his best. The same shit they did to Danny Jacobs, this cancer patient. How dare you? This is why I knew I didn't respect Canelo.
You took came from being cancer
and rehydrated him. You put this motherfucker on a rehydration clause. At least Triple G let Danny Jacobs go all the way up to 185 fight night. And that's why it was a tough fight for Triple G, because he was fighting a real version of Danny Jacobs. Canelo wouldn't even lie. That's why I have more respect for Triple G than I ever will for Canelo Alvarez, because at least Triple G fought the motherfucker at his best.
Mm-hmm.
You sat here and told this dude he couldn't go past 170 a few days before fight night. What kind of performance you motherfuckers thought was going to happen with that shit?
Yeah, and people, they try to justify it. They were like, well, that's the IBF rules. Those rules don't apply when there's a unification.
Yeah.
So if they were just fighting for the IBF belt, then he would have no choice but to do that. Well, exactly. It was a unification belt, man. So they didn't have to, but he did it. He basically said, you either do this or you don't get to fight. Mind you, just do that. Been fighting how many years? He got a family, he got support. Of course, he's gonna take the fight at his detriment.
Yep.
That's what boxing shows. You can tell what type of person people is by who they're a fan of.
Yep.
When you're a fan of somebody who you know is cheating, it's because you would cheat. You don't find nothing wrong with
you're
it.
a cheater in your life.
Yeah, you're a cheater. If you're a fan of Tyson Fury, you don't think it's wrong to cheat, particularly black men. And 9 times out of 10, you probably unathletic, or you probably think cheating is evening up the score.
Yep.
If you're a fan of Canelo, you think it's okay to appear to be something that you're not.
Yep.
It shows the type of person these people are.
Yep.
So how can you support something that you're against? You can't support it unless this is part of you. Exactly. I can, in good faith, I couldn't be a Canelo fan, man. He did too much. Canelo and Tyson Fury are some of the worst champions boxing has ever had.
Yep. Manny Pacquiao's up there too. Manny Pacquiao's up there too. Don't get that shit twisted. Motherfucker, Manny Pacquiao's been able to be on steroids for a number of years. It wasn't until Floyd called him out, and then they tried to put Floyd on a lawsuit, called him out on being on fucking Pacroids. Manny Pacquiao is not innocent by any stretch of the fucking imagination.
He's not.
That motherfucker was knocking motherfuckers out on Pacroids for years. And it wasn't until Floyd called him out, and then next thing you know, all of a sudden, Manny Pacquiao's fights, he couldn't knock out nobody anymore. Come on, man. Y'all can't be stuck on stupid. Y'all really can't be stuck on that stupid.
Well, just the reason why I separated them, though. Manny Pacquiao, he'll fight competition.
That's true.
They won't. Tyson Fury had to be forced to fight competition. I'm talking about legally. Yep. Canelo Alvarez had to be forced and still didn't do it. He just left the zone. I said, fuck it. Left. Man, I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be by De La Hoya no more. He tried to make me fight competition.
Isn't that ironic that he left the zone? He went over to PBC and then he came back to the zone because PBC then was like, yo, you need to fight Jamal Charlo. We're going to put you in a 3-fight deal. Jamal Charlo, David Benavidez. And then after those two guys, we're going to give you another guy. And then he left to go back to Eddie Hearn. See, these promoters, they're not stupid. It's kind of like, let me tell you what it's like. It's like LeBron, right? In basketball. LeBron thinks he could finesse these GMs and he could finesse these owners, right? But here's the thing. You keep going around doing that shit over and over and over again. Eventually, these owners, one of them is going to be like, nah, that shit ain't going to happen. You know what Jeannie Buss told LeBron? Jeannie Buss told LeBron, I don't give a fuck. She G-checked his ass this last season when LeBron said, I'm considering leaving. Okay, if that's the case, I'm going to trade you.
Go.
She told his ass straight up. You didn't deliver what you said you was going to deliver, and I gave you the team that you were supposed to have. You couldn't even deliver. I let you make all the decisions you couldn't deliver. So how about I trade you? And LeBron's been on shut up status ever since. Sometimes you got to check a motherfucker and remind them their fucking place. That's what Eddie Hearn did with Canelo Alvarez. Oh, you LeBron. Think no. Dimitri Bivol is going to be on a 9 to 13 week training camp. This is actually going to be a fight on fair terms.
LeBron James could only pull that nonsense when he's at a team that never won before.
Yep.
They don't have no choice. But you went to the team that's one of the winningest teams, them and the Celtics. They won before. And your one little measly championship don't mean nothing.
Yep.
It don't mean nothing. And when you look at it, you can look, the shit was rigged. It was like, Kobe died, we're going to push these niggas to the finals and let them win. If any NBA season was rigged, that one was rigged like a motherfucker, man.
Yep.
Every fucking second, they were doing Kobe tributes, and all of a sudden, LeBron loved Kobe so much to where he crying. Like, bro, you and Kobe was never like that.
Yep.
Bitch ass nigga. Y'all was frenemies. Y'all was cool with each other. Y'all was cordial. Y'all wasn't on crying terms and tattoo terms.
Yep.
Nigga getting tattoos, man.
Yep.
I'm a Kobe fan. I watched Kobe whole career. I ain't got no tattoo of Kobe on my body, nigga.
Nah, me either.
I got no tattoos on my body. If I can take it all back, I wouldn't have no tattoos, period. Once I found out we ain't supposed to put no tattoos on our body.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no tattoo on no fucking Kobe Bryant, nigga. And I'm his biggest fan. You mean tell me you got a tattoo of Kobe Bryant? Kobe Bryant was the reason why you could never establish your dominance.
Yep.
He had to die first.
Yep.
For people to finally accept you.
Yep.
On Kobe Bryant lived, nobody was never gonna no legitimate source was ever gonna say ESPN ain't no legitimate source to me. I'm talking about real basketball players. Real niggas would never go have a consensus that he was better than Kobe Bryant, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that Kobe died to say that shit. You know what I mean? Then, and I'm saying all that to say Canelo ain't shit but another LeBron.
Exactly.
Because only why they like Canelo. Let's be honest. Only why Mexican fans was fucking with Canelo just because he represented Mexico.
Yep.
And they felt like a loss to him is a loss to Mexico.
And he's their last hope. He was their last hope.
So they didn't care how he won. You should have been listening to Juan Manuel Marquez. He always said Canelo was a fraud. He always said Canelo was a fraud, man.
Yep.
You gotta listen to people talk about them. Yeah, listen, man. And now everybody's shocked that he lost.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't shocked because I knew if it wasn't no pay to lose, he was supposed to lose that fight.
Yep.
Just like I don't think he could beat no Kovalev for no full count.
Exactly.
Look how Kovalev fought him and how Kovalev fought Andre Ward. Those ain't even the same people.
And Kovalev tried to tell y'all he had Russian mobsters behind him. Kovalev also tried to tell y'all that he had no choice. Kathy Duva and them was all behind it, and they said, "Look, we need you to get this paper because you've never had this kind of payday. Here's $12 million." He owed money. He told y'all that. Y'all wouldn't listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ain't even believe the man when he said that. And now I got word from he knows everything birdies that Monty Brown is on live. So what y'all need to do is with him being on live, y'all need to challenge him. Because now the narrative is Canelo lost. What is it about other fighters? Exposed time. No, it's exposed Canelo. Canelo goes to the back of the fucking line. In boxing, when you lose, you go to the back of the fucking line. So Demetrius Andrade, Jamal Charlo, David Benavidez don't have to fight Canelo because Canelo doesn't bring nothing of value to them any fucking more. Did you guys see Eddie Hearn at the end of the fight? Mad at Canelo. Rip B. Brazy also saw what I saw. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And that's going to show you. That's going to show you how crooked boxing is. A boxing promoter is supposed to be, especially if he promote both fighters, he's supposed to be unbiased.
Yep.
He can't hold his bias. He mad because now, guess what? Triple G got to fight a real opponent now. They're going to give us a fight we ain't want again. They're going to make a Triple G Canelo fight. Nobody want that, man.
Exactly.
Nobody didn't want Amir Khan Canelo. Nobody wanted to see that shit. Nobody wanted Canelo. Let's be honest. We settled for Canelo K to play. We ain't want that shit. We settled for it.
Yep.
Nobody wanted Canelo Billy Joe Saunders.
Nope.
Nobody wanted Canelo Yidain.
Nope.
And he tried to fight some Mackaboo, Rackaboo, Sackaboo African nigga we never heard of. Nobody want these fights.
Nobody wanted that bullshit and that fuck shit.
That's why Eddie Hearn mad because he's like, bro, you fucking up for me. Now I can't protect Triple G now.
Yep.
And now since Canelo lost that fight, guess what? Now he gotta fight competition because if he don't, it's gonna look even worse.
Exactly.
Now he gotta fight. Now he gotta look for a fight with Charlo on him.
And now he's forced because
and now he gotta do it. Now he gotta do it on fair terms.
Undisputed at 168. So if there's anybody that's gonna be pushing for Canelo fight, it's gonna be David Benavidez. David Benavidez is gonna be chopping at the bits, saying, "Look here, man, I want that undisputed situation at 168." And David Benavidez is gonna have credibility because he's gonna say, "You didn't beat me. I got stripped."
The fact that
he's gonna have the ultimate license to push that shit.
The fact that David Benavidez even got the fact that he even got to ask for this fight goes to show you how horrible a champion Canelo is.
Yep.
The fact that David Benavidez even got to ask for this fight. You know you ain't beat him. So you got to fight him.
Yep.
It's like Joe Frazier. When Joe Frazier became the undisputed champion, it was partly because the United States government stripped Muhammad Ali. So he, at the end of the day, he wasn't. Muhammad Ali was like, man, he's like, man, you ain't the undisputed champ because you still ain't beat me. I'm still the lineal champ. Nobody, because Muhammad Ali, when you undisputed and you lose it any other way, besides if you're either the lineal champion, which means you beat the guy that beat the guy, or you the guy, you have to lose your belt in the ring to lose that.
Yep.
So I'm still the lineal champ. I'm still the people's champ. So he had to beat him. When he beat him, then he was the guy. Then now he was the undisputed and the lineal champion. Well, Joe Frazier beat Muhammad Ali that night. He's the best boxer. He's the best boxer in boxing. He beat him that night.
Facts.
But you got to do it. Because now they keep saying, well, we know Canelo could beat that guy, so he don't got to fight him. What kind of boxing is this?
Exactly.
What sport is this? You can't say we know
competition.
We can't say we know he'll win, so he don't got to fight him.
Exactly.
You don't get credit for people thinking you could beat somebody. You got to beat them.
You get credit for actually doing it. You get credit for the real heavyweight lifting.
We know he could beat Andre, so he ain't gonna fight him. He gonna fight instead. He gonna fight Yi Dain and Rocky Fielding. Nobody asked for these fights, man.
Nope.
And the thing is, be honest. When Floyd had it, when he had the crown, he had to fight. He had to fight either the number one guy or the guy that just beat him. He had to fight pound for pound fighters every time.
And he was challenged by boxing fans too. If Floyd don't do this, Floyd is ducking. Or if Floyd don't do that,
right?
Floyd is this, he's that. Y'all held Floyd's feet to the fire. But with Canelo, there was always some bullshit and fuck shit excuse, man.
He don't got to fight none of the peer guys at 160.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
But my biggest thing, and I'm pushing this shit, is Jamal Charlo, because Jamal Charlo out of any and every motherfucker is more deserving, because Jamal Charlo has been ducked the longest. And Jamal Charlo is basically the hellified champion at 160. When you have the WBC belt, you are, because it's the premier belt in boxing, you are the champion. He's the super champion at 160. Canelo ducked his ass to get some fucking franchise belt title. Canelo has to fight Jamal Charlo. That has to be the next fucking fight. Like, there's no way around that shit. It has to be the next fight.
But think about it, man. That had been the next fight for the last 10 years. He's not going to fight Charlo, man. Canelo do not want to fight another black fighter. Think about it. All this is because he don't want to fight a prime black fighter.
But here's the thing, Ross. You know you have cachet and leverage, right? But your cachet and leverage is contingent upon you continuously having the cachet and leverage. What fucking cachet and leverage Canelo got now that he got a loss? Because this is the last time he lost was to Floyd Mayweather. This is why this shit is signature. This shit is huge.
That's the thing. That's why they trying to do damage control right now. It said Canelo didn't really lose. They said Canelo didn't really lose. The sport of boxing lost because they're trolling Canelo for daring to be great.
Yeah, so, but you know who's doing that shit? You know who's doing that shit, Ross? That's the media doing that shit. These new media stupid people doing that shit. I don't hear Eddie Hearn. You know what Eddie Hearn came out and said? Eddie Hearn said Canelo lost fair and square, and we're gonna go back to our drawing board, because you know Eddie Hearn, he manipulates. He not only manipulates, he controls the fucking contract. And he said Dimitri Bivol is gonna decide if rematch is on the table, meaning y'all motherfuckers think the rematch is automatic. Eddie Hearn is looking at possibilities to see if Dimitri Bivol can do undisputed at light heavyweight. And here's the thing in boxing. Unification bouts, undisputed bouts, trumps even fucking rematches, man. Because if he has an opportunity to fight Arthur Beterbiev for undisputed at light heavyweight over fucking fighting Canelo Alvarez for a rematch, come on, man. They're going to screw Canelo out that shit. Eddie Hearn is the master of screwing motherfuckers out of shit. He's going to tell Bivol, look at here, go and fight Arthur Beterbiev. Canelo, you had your opportunity and you fucked up my money. So sit your ass on the bench.
You lost. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Me personally, anything that got only reason why I watched this fight because we was gonna cover it. But I don't anything that got anything to do with Eddie Hearn and matchroom boxing, I don't fuck with, because it's all it's fugazi, man. Because now you know what I can see them doing? Because the right man didn't win, the one that they wanted to win, I can see them doing a rematch and then robbing this. They tried to rob him this fight, but they couldn't because the last round. He down there stopped Canelo. This dude down there won every round, and they said he only beat Canelo by one round, bro.
Yep.
The judges was trying to rob the nigga too.
But here's the thing, Ross.
What fight was they watching?
This is the only time that a promoter in a very long time has leverage over Canelo. Eddie Hearn is in a power position against Canelo right now because Canelo has lost. If he fucks around and give Canelo the rematch, Canelo fuck around and win against Bivol, Canelo's gonna do a forever duckage for the rest of his career.
I can see
Eddie Hearn has an opportune moment right now to rectify the situation and tell Canelo, look, this is the route Dimitri Bivol took. He's fighting undisputed at lightweight against Betev. You know what message that's going to send? It's going to send a message to Canelo that now he is forced to have to look at options at 160 and 168. It's going to force Canelo to go into fights that he don't want to fucking go. If Eddie Hearn play this shit right, he could power play this shit.
Yeah, but I can see Canelo's type of nigga who he really just want easy touches, man. Canelo thought Bivol was gonna be an easy touch, and got touched up. Probably if Canelo would have. Here's the thing with Canelo, man. I can see Canelo retiring, bro,
and that's perfect. If he does that,
yeah, that's good. Because the sport of boxing don't need him nowhere. The sport of boxing don't need him no way, man. Exactly. The sport of boxing don't need nobody like that, man. Exactly. Tyson Fury talking about he finna retire. Good riddance, man.
But here's the thing: Canelo has too much. Canelo has too much invested, and he hasn't made nowhere near the money compared to what his expenses are. He has to keep fucking boxing. So Eddie Hearn can box Canelo.
He been trying to live like Floyd.
Exactly.
He been trying to be the Mexican Floyd, but you got to win to be Floyd.
Canelo into a position to where Canelo has no fucking choice but for Canelo to now go look at his options at 160, 168. If I was in Eddie Hearn's position, that's what the fuck I'm gonna do. Look here, man. Thank you for the fight against Dimitri Bivol, but Dimitri Bivol, as they've been talking in contracts, he's going for undisputed at light heavyweight. That's bigger than this whole rematch situation you got going on. You are in the losing position, so now you need to go look at the options at 160, 168 because I have you on a few fight deal here. So I'm your promoter. I own you. This is what you're going to have to do at this point.
But this was going to happen, man. Sadly, I'm a realist. Mm-hmm. He'll go back down to 160. But guess who he's going to fight?
Who?
Triple G.
At 160?
That's who the fuck he going to fight.
And you know what boxing fans going to say? And here's the thing, Ross.
And when he do that, he's going to look even worse.
No boxing fans going to watch that fight. And I'm going to tell you why they're not going to watch that fight. I'm going to tell you why they're not going to watch that fight. I'm going to tell you why it's going to do 11K views.
But you know, the zone big for giving fights nobody watch. They big for that.
But I'm gonna tell you why the boxing populace, even Mexican boxing fans, are not even gonna watch this shit. Because they're gonna say, oh, okay, Canelo, you no longer have that cachet and leverage anymore. Even they know that shit. And then you're gonna turn around and fight Triple G, a fight we don't want. No. They're gonna want Canelo to reprove himself. The only way to reprove himself at 160, and it's a logical decision because Eddie Hearn also promotes him, is to fight Demetrius Andrade.
That's who the fuck he supposed to be fought, man.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. I low-key don't think Eddie Hearn do what's best interest for his black fighters. Because there's no way Canelo's supposed to get out of that undisputed fight, man. There's no way. They were being promoted by the same motherfucking man. There's no way. If he had Demetrius Andrade's best interest at heart, he would have made that fight. Even if it was at a little detriment to Demetrius Andrade, he's still supposed to make sure they got in the ring together.
But he did not do that. Here's the thing with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn know what he's experienced, what he saw Oscar De La Hoya experience. When Canelo had all of this leverage and cachet, Canelo was hopping from promoter to promoter. And guess what? Every promoter is going to bring them in because they want to make the money and they want to say that they were part of that situation and that fight or whatever the case may be. It's business at the end of the day. Well, guess what? Canelo no longer has that cachet. So now the promoters have the leverage over him. They got the power over his ass to force him. So now Eddie Hearn can force him into a Demetrius Andrade fight. And Canelo's going to have to accept it because guess what? He's coming off of a loss. And we know in boxing, we ain't.
But what I'm trying to tell you is I don't think Eddie Hearn give a fuck about Demetrius Andrade. I don't think he give a fuck about Devin Haney at the end of the day.
Okay.
If they don't push it, like, if they don't do some Deontay Wilder shit where he forced Tyson Fury to give him the rematch, if they don't do no legality shit, I can see him fucking them over just because he don't fuck with them. He's from the same ilk of his. He's from the same ilk as his dad. He just don't talk.
How many years and fight deals did he sign with Eddie Hearn?
I don't know.
Okay, but I'm sure it's not a one fight deal. I'm sure so. Anyone in the comment section, tell me, because I'm sure he fought a multi-fight deal and it was multi-year deal with Matchroom Sports. You dealing with a promoter that runs a slave trade operation. You dealing with a promoter that understands legalities. For Canelo to get out of this shit, it's not going to be.
If you don't do it, he'll get fined. He'll get fined. I don't know what the fine is, but if he's willing to take that fine, you probably get fined $1 million or some shit like that.
If he's willing to go into lawsuit, and Eddie Hearn basically say, "Look here, man, I don't give a fuck. You're gonna have to fight this motherfucker. And if you don't want to fight this motherfucker, we'll take your ass to court." Then Canelo could sit on the shelf for the rest of his boxing career. I don't give a fuck. I'll be happy if that happens too. That's what I would do if I was Eddie Hearn. I would force his fucking hand.
And low key, let's be honest, man. The sport of boxing don't need we don't need champions like Canelo, man.
Yep,
we don't need it. That's bad for boxing. All this whole time, they were Mexicans, not all Mexicans, because believe it or not, Mexican Americans and Mexicans in Mexico are two different people. Mexican in Mexico actually like good boxing. It's the Mexican Americans that got issues. Those motherfuckers was trying to tell us Floyd was bad for boxing. He's boring. All he does is win. He don't care how he wins. Stupid shit like that. That's how you know. That's how you know it's all about race.
Yep.
It was all about race. Floyd's whole tenure was all about race. Errol Spence at the top right now, and people hate on him. It's all about race.
Yep.
Because how come Jaime Munguia, he could duck a title fight with Andre? How can you duck a mandatory fight?
Yep.
And nobody say nothing about it.
Yep.
Could Jaime Munguia do that if he was black? Could he say, "Nah, I don't want this mandatory fight," and fight some trash? No, he will have to fight that fight. He will have to fight that fight.
Make sure y'all donate to Motivate, man. I'm gonna put up one comment. Make sure y'all donate to Motivate, man. We haven't received any donations in a long time, man. And we dropping that heat, dog. We bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the necks, and we separating the weak from the fucking strong. But I'm gonna put up one comment because it's lethal. But make sure y'all donate to Motivate, man. This dude, Midwest Boxing, said, "I think some of these channels get stipends from promotional companies." Monnie sounded defiant, like a high school dropout trying to defend Canelo. Facts. This is the thing. You have a lot of these channels, when you see they promote or push a certain promotional company or brand, is because they are in the pockets of that promotional company and brands. Me and Ross have told you guys this. That's why they're pushing. Canelo Alvarez has been pushed because of the fact that Canelo Alvarez's situation has been unctioned that it's Monnie Brown that has to be the coon and buffoon to push the agenda. Now, I don't think Canelo himself or his team is Monnie Brown is in their back pocket. I mean, look at Monnie Brown. Canelo don't need Monnie Brown to push his shit. Monnie Brown's doing that shit off some sucker sellout shit, man. He's doing that shit because he wanted to push his own channel and his own agenda. Canelo don't even fucking know who Monnie Brown is. If you ask Canelo who Monnie Brown is, Canelo's gonna say, "Who is that?" In his broken ass fucking English. Who is that? I don't know who that is. That's what the fuck he's gonna say.
He gonna say, no, he wants payday. He wants payday.
Yep.
And think about it. That was the dumbest excuse in the world not to fight somebody. I'm not gonna fight you because you want payday.
Exactly.
That don't make sense. Boxing is built on paydays. It's called prize fighting. Of course, I want to get paid.
Exactly.
That don't make no sense.
It's an excuse. You won't give
Charlo a payday.
Black fighters.
You won't give Charlo a payday, but you'll give Rocky Fielding a payday. What did he deserve?
Canelo did not learn anything in the Mayweather fight. What he learned in the Mayweather fight is to avoid elite black fighters. That's what he learned.
He learned who not to fight in the Mayweather fight. He said, "Oh shit! If this little motherfucker could do this, imagine somebody who's just as athletic but bigger."
And I'm gonna tell you right now, Canelo didn't get better. Canelo at 31 is not better than the Canelo at 23. There's an argument that Canelo at 23 was a lot better than he was at 31, and I can prove that shit.
Even the LDBC on this is still towing the line, and they still on the fence.
Yep,
motherfuckers. I'm not gonna call their name. Fuck it. For non-boxing, international boxing, this motherfucker said Canelo was beaten bad, and for one thing, he's out of his prime. Canelo only 31 fucking years old, man.
How the hell is he out of his
his
prime at 31?
How is he out of his prime? At 38 years old, y'all was saying Floyd should fight Triple G.
Yep.
At 38.
Yep.
So how is Canelo out of his prime? He only 31 years old.
Exactly.
No, he should be right in the middle of his prime.
Exactly.
He should be at his best right now. The problem is, even they have sipped the Kool-Aid.
Yep.
Here's the problem. It's not that Canelo out of his prime. Canelo never was like that.
Canelo was never as good as y'all thought he was.
Right, he was never there. He was never there.
Yes.
He was never really like that, man. If Canelo's that dude at school that bully everybody, then he finally bully the right motherfucker and he get whooped. He everybody eyes open and you be like, damn, I thought Duke could fight. Dude always be acting tough and shit, be slapping niggas and shit and get whooped bad because dude was never really like that.
Yep.
He just needed to meet the right one.
Yep. And what did I tell y'all? His head movement, his foot movement. I told y'all all that shit was overrated. He just needed to fight the right boxer that could time his ass. Bivol was timing him the whole fucking fight. Man, he watched them 10-2 rounds. That's what I scored the shit. 10-2.
And that's being generous.
Yes.
10-2 is generous. If somebody I scored it a certain way, if somebody said, you know what, Canelo lost every round, I'd be like, you know what, man, I'd be like, man, you ain't got no argument for me. Woo. I wouldn't say no, because it's too. Nope. I'll be like, ain't no argument for me because the rounds I gave him, I can see it going any way. Canelo didn't.
You know why I gave it two? Because there was only 2 rounds that Bivol took the foot off the gas, and if I honestly believe if Bivol would have put more foot on the gas, I think he could have stopped Canelo. There's an argument because he was doing some hellified body work that if he kept doubling up on his jabs, doubling up on his lateral movement, he could have stopped Canelo. That's why I gave the shit 10-2 because of effort.
I believe Bivol knew Canelo was just loading up for one big punch, and Bivol was like, "Man, I'm not gonna let him get that one big punch. And as long as I'm winning, like this, I'm gonna win like this." Because when you go in to finish somebody, at some point you leave yourself open for a big punch.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? G6 Dre said he lost. Yeah, he lost.
Yeah, he lost every round. My only thing with fighters. And I only judge it that way is when I know a fighter, because it happens, right? All fighters do that shit, right? When a fighter know that they just beating a fighter up and then they coast, to me, I hate that shit, right? When a motherfucker just coasts on a round and you know in that round they could just be just a little bit more active. I'm not talking about reckless active. I'm just talking about doubling up on your punches and just being the same way you are sharp, but just maintaining the activity level. 2 of those rounds, Bivol just took those rounds off because he knew he was beating the shit out of Canelo. Now, it was smart on what Ross was saying in terms of he didn't want to get hit with a big-ass shot. But Bivol was actually hurting Canelo. He was hurting him. Because I saw Canelo's, when a fighter's mouth go like this and he's hanging on the ropes, after you hitting him with body shots, that means you hurting him.
It hurt, man.
He was hurting the shit out of him. If he wanted to put the foot on the gas, he could have killed the guy. But Bivol did what was right in the fight, and he boxed a hell of a fight. Because I'm a proponent of that too. If you boxing somebody up and that's what's working for you, then stick to the guns of that the whole fight. And that's what he did. He stuck to the guns of that, and he washed them. He fucking washed them. And he had Canelo breathing heavy the whole fucking fight because he was hitting him with power shots.
Heavy. That's the thing, bro.
And this is how you know Caleb Plant was a paid to lose, because Caleb Plant was beating up Canelo the same way Bivol did, but Caleb Plant put the foot off the gas. Whereas Bivol was like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna beat your ass the whole fucking fight.
And all of a sudden, Caleb Plant just get hit with a big shot out of nowhere.
Yep.
The shot that he was blocking, the same shot he was blocking all night. He just don't block and then get dropped. Like, fuck out of here with that shit, man. It just goes to show you a lot of shit that we've been seeing over the years with Canelo, the all smoke and mirrors, bro.
Yep, that's just like Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford was fighting a scripted ass Kell Brook and a scripted ass Sean Porter. Derrick James told the truth when there was a microphone. You know, Sean Porter got mad at Derrick James. Derrick James said, "Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Me and Ross called this shit. Me and Ross, we don't have no affiliation with Errol Spence. We don't have no affiliation with Derrick James or the team. We just saw real, recognized real. Derrick James came back weeks later and confirmed what we said. Derrick James said, listen, for weeks, Sean Porter and Kenny Porter were not on talking terms. And Kenny Porter was basically trying to tell Sean, this is the way that I want you to fight the fight. And because Sean Porter didn't fight the way his dad told him to fight, they were at odds. He said, I'm telling you guys this right now. So Sean Porter just basically told Kenny Porter, fuck you, I'm going to fight the way I want. And then the fight ended up ending up the way it did. And he said, I'm going to tell y'all right now, go ask Sean Porter. Him and his dad have not been on talking terms since the Crawford fight ended. That tells you it was a paid to fucking lose. It was a nosedive. It was the same thing with Kell Brook. How the hell did Kell Brook was outboxing Terrence Crawford with a 69.5-inch reach, and then round 4, round 5, after Terrence Crawford's face was swelling up, all of a sudden he don't know how to jab, and then he looks at Bob Arum. Bob Arum looks at him, and then Bob Arum tells him to take the dive, and then Terrence Crawford don't even hit him on the chin, and then he just falls and hits the canvas. Come on, man. Y'all got to know what the fuck y'all watching, man.
But this one guy realized about the human psyche. If it's something people want to believe, they'll believe it no matter how fake it looks.
Yep.
If it's something that people want to hear, they'll listen to it no matter how outlandish it sounds. People go off what they want to see and what they want to hear. They don't go off the truth.
Yep. And you see, Rip B. Breezy, he confirmed you. He said now Canelo studs pushing Triple G to fight Canelo. Like, bruh, beating Triple G means nothing. He's too old. I mean, this is ridiculous.
First of all, nobody want to see that.
Nope.
Nobody care if he fight Triple G. They don't care because they know if he beat Triple G, he's not gonna fight nobody else.
Nope.
It don't mean nothing.
Nope.
Canelo, the way he's moving, he should just how he's been moving lately. He should just retire, bro.
And this is what I want now.
Because
and I'm gonna say this to Jamal Charlo. I'm gonna say this to Jamal Charlo, and I'm hoping he listen. Jamal Charlo, fuck Canelo, man. You and Demetrius Andrade need to go ahead and just debate who is the best at 160. Y'all need to have y'all super fight. Canelo's irrelevant at this fucking point because Canelo, it's very clear he's not gonna fight you motherfuckers. He's ducking you motherfuckers. If I was any sanctioning body, I would strip Canelo of anything reminiscent at 160 and make basically an undisputed fight between Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. It's only fair for the sport, man. It's only fair to do that. They stripped Manny Pacquiao with the Dennis Ugas situation, and they forced him to have to fight Dennis Ugas, and then he got washed. That's what they need to do with Canelo Alvarez. Strip anything that has to deal with 160 from this motherfucker and position it to where it's an undisputed fight between Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. This is what I believe needs to happen.
Exactly, bro. Because think about it, in boxing, we owe it. If you've been content creator, you owe it to call it straight down the middle. Even if you like certain fighters, you owe it to call it straight down the middle, man. And I don't see how in good faith you could say Canelo is a great fighter. What has he done without the assistance of some type of advantage that other people didn't have?
Yep.
How can you say he's great? Anybody who has ever attempted to cheat, can't be great in my eyes. I don't give a fuck what they do. Canelo could go on to be
great. They can't be great on any fucking level.
Canelo could go on and win 30 fights in a row after this. I wouldn't give a fuck because he's a cheater, and I don't know whether he's cheating or not.
Exactly. I wouldn't give 2 cows fucks.
I don't give a fuck if you're a cheater, Joe. You don't give a fuck what you do if you're a cheater in boxing because you putting people's lives at risk.
Yep.
By cheating, man.
Make sure y'all donate to motivate, man. Heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the necks and we separating the weak from the strong, man. Donate to motivate.
You putting people's life at risk when you cheat, man. So anybody who could get behind somebody like that, they low down, man. Like I don't even truth be told, you people might be like, oh, it's just boxing. Like, bro, yeah, it is just boxing. That's why I take it serious because people die in the boxing ring. If you could get behind somebody you know is a known cheat, you have a fundamental problem with integrity.
Yep.
Ain't no diet, bro. You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck is a vegan diet? What the fuck is that, man? I mean, there's a lot of fighters in today's sports that are on a fucking vegan diet and they're dominating. They're doing shit. It has nothing to do with no fucking diet, man.
Nah.
It has everything to do with the fact that Canelo's not the fighter he thought he was.
If anything, yeah, it's a diet. He couldn't eat. He couldn't eat no PED steaks.
Yeah,
you can't eat no PED steaks no more. So now he listen. It's everything. This is how you know when people are set up to be great and they're not really great.
Yeah.
When they lose, it's everything but them.
Yep.
It's never just them when they lose.
Yep.
When people don't put the responsibility on you, they don't even believe you're great.
Yep.
Because when you're great and you lose, it's your fault.
Yep. And don't give me that shit that Canelo's 5'7". Your ass shouldn't be in no fucking ring with a motherfucker that's 175 pounds, man. If Canelo would have won, y'all motherfuckers would have sat there and said Canelo was great. So don't give me that hype bullshit.
First of all, the fact that he's 5'7", he only 5'7", that goes to show you he ducking Charlo on him. Talking about he can't make 160 no more. You only 5'7". How the fuck can you not make 160?
Exactly.
How can you not make 160? You only 5'7".
Exactly.
Like what? He told Spence, I'm not gonna be able to come down to 164. How can you?
He should be fighting Spence at 160. It's a perfect weight class because both of them coming down 2 weight classes.
The problem is this.
I mean, he's coming down 2. Spence is going up 2. It's a perfect blend.
Canelo knew his fan base very well. Canelo knew his fan base is the type of fan base that don't give a fuck about integrity. They don't give a fuck about what's morally right. All they want to do was see him win. So he was going to take any fight that looked like it was more than what it was.
Yep.
Hold on, man. You can't just keep making the same post over and over and over again.
Yep.
You're spamming the chat. But he was gonna take any fight that looked like he was doing more than what he really was. He was never gonna take those real fights.
Exactly.
In Canelo's mind, he thought he was more powerful than what he actually is. Bivol actually fight real 175 pound guys. He used to getting hit. He wasn't going to. The only reason why you stopped, what's the name? Because he just came off of what a damn near a life and death battle with Yardy.
Yep.
Where it came down to the wire, these guys were beating each other up, and you fought him 4 weeks later. And he looked tired in the first round.
And there is no challenging yourself, Canelo. There's what's called going up and down. Canelo was basically using the Mikey Garcia strategy of going from weight class to weight class and trying to find the weakest link. That's what Mikey Garcia did, and Mikey Garcia ended up running into Spence. Spence washed him.
That's the thing. Let's be honest here. Dimitri Bivol, Errol Spence.
Yep.
Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia, Canelo Alvarez ass, man.
Yep. Yep.
Because Mikey Garcia was shit but a dud.
Yep.
Fighting guys at their lowest point. He thought he was gonna get Errol Spence. He was believing the hype. Errol Spence can't box. Errol Spence ain't this. Errol Spence ain't that. Guess what? Bitch ass nigga went in there, almost got stopped. Fucking around with Errol Spence.
He fell for that Kool-Aid that Errol Spence can't box. Okay, all right. And what happened? Spence boxed the shit out of his ass. 1,200 punches of punishment. The motherfucker has not recovered as a boxer since.
And which I don't realize is this fight that took some years off Canelo.
Yep.
He already wasn't the best fighter to begin with.
Yep.
So now he went up in there and he 12 rounds of straight catching leather.
Yep.
I'm talking about dudes that hitting them soft, man. These was shots, man. Because normally Canelo, he got a decent chin.
Yep.
And he normally just he takes it and he keep these shots was pushing him back.
Yep. Oh, they were roasting him. And this is the thing with Mexican physiology that I told them, these motherfuckers. And it ain't the black Mexican physiology. I'm talking about the Anglo-Saxon version of it. Mikey Garcia got that shit. Oscar Valdez got that shit. I'm gonna tell you what it is. These motherfuckers are slow, unathletic, and flat-footed as shit. They have to stay in the middle of the ring and they get beat up like human fucking piñatas. That's what happened. Canelo's not what you think he is, man. I told y'all motherfuckers that shit. His physiology is his limitation.
But you forgot one thing that you always say. This is your thing. The ilky body.
He got ilky fucking body, man. motherfucker got a silky ass body. I forgot that shit. That motherfucker got a silky ass fucking body, man.
I don't think they work. Think about it. Every time you see a Mexican fighter working out for a fight, they don't never be doing no sit-ups, man.
Nah.
They'll never work their core. They always work their arms.
Never. Even Canelo.
They always just
never
working
working
their
the
arms.
core.
They'll never work their core, bro. Then they wonder why they always get stopped or they always run out of gas.
Yep. Listen, sports brotherhood. Canelo don't dodge no punches. He only dodged punches against fighters that they easily put him in the ring. They make him in the ring with. That's what how he be fooling y'all motherfuckers. He wasn't dodging no damn Dimitri Bivol punches. His ass was on the back of the ropes, eating fucking body shots and eating fucking right hand leads and eating fucking jabs and eating hooks. That's what I saw all night.
Dimitri Bivol,
come on, man.
I'm not gonna take away from his win because it's a great win. But him beating Canelo don't make him a number one at 175. He still got to be Beterbiev. Canelo ain't like that. He ain't proved shit. Dimitri Bivol was supposed to be Canelo like that.
Exactly. Dimitri Bivol don't get no extra credit here. He's fighting a 160 pounder. He don't get no extra credit.
Right. If he knows that. Because Dimitri Bivol, he said in an interview, he said it's hilarious how they're talking about Canelo as if he's really a good boxer like that. Like this is funny to me.
Yep. And
Dimitri Bivol basically nobody in boxing,
small guy.
Nobody in boxing that actually boxed believe in Canelo like that.
Mm-hmm.
Only the sellouts, the people who trying to get a job after they do boxing on ESPN and shit.
Yep.
Only them. And some of these niggas on YouTube. The actual boxers don't. Why you think Errol Spence want to fight Canelo at 160, 164? He don't respect Canelo like that.
Nah, he know you're gonna wash him. He know it.
I'll whoop Canelo, goofy ass. I'll go up.
You don't understand how much more stronger Spence will be at 164, man. He'll beat the shit out of Canelo, man.
Shit out of Canelo, goofy ass, man. Listen, Canelo's not like that, bro. Like all that shit you've been saying has been a joke.
Yeah.
Think about it. Everything his whole career been a joke. When he fought Floyd, he was 42-0. Against who?
Cab driver.
Go look at his resume.
Lift and hold up. Hey, taxi, Tijuana cab driver fighters. He's a big ass fucking Mikey Garcia, man.
That's it. All those, it's just like who just say start Chavez. They always put in Chavez. As soon as you start talking about the greatest, somebody put Chavez out their ass. Chavez was 89-0,
man.
Chavez was 89-0, and you couldn't name none of them motherfuckers he had fought.
Uber Lyft fucking drivers.
So Chavez started fighting real niggas, he started losing. And he started getting like controversial wins, like crazy ass wins. They started rigging fights for him and shit. As soon as he started fighting black guys, Chavez started looking very mediocre, real fast. Nigga trash, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say Juan Manuel Marquez. That's the dude. When you talk to Mexican fighters, that's the dude right there, man.
That's the creme de la creme. And people want to say he hate Canelo and him and his trainer Nacho Barristan, man. They're the hella fight. They're a tag team, man. They're a 1-2 combination, trainer to fighter. Because let me tell you something about Juan Manuel Marquez, man. And I'm gonna always respect him for that shit. He laid Manny Pacquiao on that canvas, boy. He earned my respect for that shit. Boy, I was laughing at Manny Pacquiao. I was laughing at Manny Pacquiao for the next 6 fucking months. That was a highlight reel for me. He laid that motherfucker out. And then he did the smartest thing you could do. Manny was trying to get another rematch. Fuck you. I want your career to end with me laying your ass out on that fucking
Think about it, man. Think about it. We done fought 4 or 5 times. We don't need to fight no more.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? That's all fuck top rankings to do. Always do all these sequel fights. So nobody want to see that shit over and over again.
And Juan Manuel said, man, y'all sat here and robbed me so many times. Fuck you. I'm gonna have you knowing this last time we fought, I laid your ass out. I laid your fucking ass out. And D-Pain is correct. Why didn't Canelo tell Caleb Smith, Anve Yildirim, Billy Joe Saunders, and Caleb Plant to fight each other? Because they have no punching power, and he knew he would win those fucking fights. Those are facts. But he fought Dimitri Bivol, a guy that had power, and what happened?
He took it for granted. He thought he was gonna go up in there and outbox him. He took him for granted. Dude put it on Canelo ass.
Yep.
Something spicy, man. He
Yep.
put something spicy on Canelo ass. He wasn't ready for those spices.
Beat the living shit out of his ass.
He wasn't ready for those spices, boy.
He damn sure wasn't ready for that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, at the end of the day, bro, now y'all get to see. Because it's hard telling people the truth when they have to think abstractly. Now with this loss, it'll make you go back and watch all the rest of his fights, and you'll see this nigga never was really like that, man.
Exactly.
Like, people give him credit for knocking out Amir Khan. Everybody knock out Amir Khan, man. Danny Garcia already did that. Why you fighting somebody? Think about it. Why you fighting somebody that Danny Garcia already knocked out?
Exactly.
Why you even doing that?
Like, we wanted to see that shit?
Like, we want to see that shit. Like this last Keith Thurman fight. He fought the dude that Tank Davis already knocked out, man. Who want to see that?
Who the fuck wants to see that?
That's how you know some of these guys, Keith Thurman, all that shit. Keith Thurman a fraud, man.
Yep.
And it came to fruition when he fought Manny Pacquiao. You do all that cap talking about you want Floyd. Manny Pacquiao, old Manny Pacquiao, you can't handle.
Yep.
Listen, man, Canelo need to retire.
Canelo need to take his ass to 160. Fuck 168. He need to take his ass to 160. Don't fight no fucking Triple G. He needs to go to 160.
He had 160. What is
160 and fight a real lion. That's what he needs to do.
Canelo need to fight Charlo. Canelo not fighting Charlo or Andre or Benavidez. He don't need to fight nobody.
Nobody.
Because you fought Jidain, you fought Amir Khan, you fought Billy Joe Saunders. Nobody wanted to see none of those fights.
Exactly.
No, think about this. The live title is the live title, man. Let's stay on the live title, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't give a fuck about unproven prospects. We don't give a fuck about that.
At the end of the day, man, you got to do something for people to be talking about you, man.
Yep.
They ain't do nothing, man.
Yep. We don't talk about unproven prospects. We talk about guys that are going for undisputed. And in this instance, Canelo Alvarez, they got fucking exposed. That motherfucker got exposed.
You know what I mean? Like, listen, we in the curious case of Canelo Alvarez, man, it's the only motherfucker. It ain't the only, because they did Rocky Marciano like this too. Except they was able to keep him undefeated.
Yep.
Everything about this dude's career is some type of gimmick or some type of trick, man.
Yep.
There ain't nothing on the up and up with this motherfucker.
And they try. And here's the thing, Ross. They tried to do this, and he still ended up getting 2 losses. They tried to finesse. This is how you know Canelo's overrated. They tried to finesse his career the whole time, and he still walked away with 2 losses. That tells me he's so fucking overrated.
That goes to show he's the Mexican LeBron James of boxing.
Exactly.
Because LeBron James' whole career was finesse. They steady put him in the finals, and he steady can't get the job.
And he steady can't deliver.
And like, what was his team like? No, once you get to the finals, now it's about the best player playing the best he ever played in his life.
Facts.
That's what the finals is about. It's about the best guy carrying.
Yep. Salute to King Styles Production. Donate to motivate, man. Donate to motivate.
In the playoffs, Kobe Bryant's last championship, he literally carried that team. Look at the team he had. He literally carried them there till he had nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
And when he could no longer get no lift on the shot, because that was the problem. He was off because he couldn't get no lift. He had no legs. He started rebounding the ball.
Facts.
He started, and those rebounds was the reason why they won that game. He did what it took. He didn't quit.
Yeah.
LeBron James never had no game like that where his trademark shit ain't working, so he finds something else. He just don't do that. That's the reason why he lost all those finals, and that's the reason why Canelo Alvarez is losing these fights he's supposed to win. Like, bro, you came in to fight 170-something pounds. Floyd was still 150. Floyd had only gained 2 pounds from fighting like it. Because he weighed in at 150. When he fought, he was 152.
You're not going to find 2 guys like us on YouTube that is definitive. Everybody's always on the fence. They want to give people props. And they know deep down in their minds, they want to say something negative about a motherfucker. But they told a line. Even motherfuckers that are what I would consider solid dudes on YouTube, they on the fence too. They have to wait until Canelo's in a precarious or a precocious situation for them to finally say something negative. I'm gonna say something negative about you, even when you're not in a precarious or a precocious situation, because I don't trust you. Because I can see there's smoke and mirrors. That's why you think I'm on Terrence Crawford's ass too. Because his ass been smoking mirrors from day one. You don't fight no damn Hank Lundy, no damn Victor Postile, no damn Juan Molina. Who the fuck are these motherfuckers? Raymundo Beltran. And then you think you're on the level with Errol Spence. Get the fuck out of here, man.
The problem is this. You always had that nucleus of black guys who hate confident black men.
Facts.
So they jumped on the floor. They jumped on the Terrence Crawford bandwagon because Terrence Crawford make them think that they could do what Terrence Crawford. He make them feel like they see another lame. They see a lame dude that just happened to box. They feel like Derrick Terrence Crawford. Like he fight for them. He fight for Terrence Crawford fight for the black dudes who don't stand up for themselves at work and just keep their head down and try to fit in. Yep. And the majority of black people are like that. Than they are like Floyd, like they're like Errol Spence, then like fucking Michael Jordan, and like Kobe. Those are few and far in between. The majority of black men keep their head down, take shit off white people, let people talk to them any kind of way. Those are Terrence Crawfords. That's why they gravitate to Terrence Crawford like that. He make them feel like how they live is right.
Facts.
Look how Bob Arum treat Terrence Crawford.
Like shit.
You couldn't do that to Floyd. Floyd left. Floyd said, "Man, you ain't gonna give me the fights I want. You hiding De La Hoya from me. I'm gonna leave, and I'm still gonna get the De La Hoya fight."
Yep.
Because that De La Hoya fight was supposed to happen way before they fought. It was Bob Arum protecting De La Hoya from Pretty Boy Floyd. You knew that was gonna be easy work. If you can't handle Pernell Whitaker, there was nothing you could do with Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather.
Exactly.
Nothing. Because Floyd actually hit hard. And he got defense.
Yep.
Pernell just had defense and he had accuracy, but he ain't have much power. Floyd actually was knocking niggas senseless.
Yep.
He better be glad he fought Floyd at 154 with those big ass gloves. Floyd at 147 would have punished. He would have punished De La Hoya ass.
Man, he would have dog walked him.
And that goes to show you how
this is where it goes to show you, Ross, where guys named PEDs Financial Solutions. Listen, man, if you are in any form of business, your business is probably not doing anything reminiscent, or your business is shit. Because clearly the way that you're talking when you say Canelo is still unified in 2 divisions and undisputed in 1, he went up to lightweight and fought a champion. I don't take nothing away from Canelo and his loss. You're the reason why the sport of boxing is in the fucking gutter. A loss is a loss. Floyd knows that. Any champion knows that when you step into the ring with somebody, especially when you're going from one weight class to another. Last time I checked, Canelo's the one that says that he fights in 3 different weight classes: 160, 168, and 175. A loss is a fucking loss. He lost at 175. It's credible. So don't give me that bullshit and fuck shit that you talking about.
Think about this. He was already champion at 175. He didn't move up to fight nobody. He was already there.
Exactly.
He's already a champ at 175.
Exactly.
Once you become a champion at 175, you get no more credit for moving up.
Facts.
That's number one. Number two, if you're unified in 2 different weight classes, why the fuck you not fighting the rest of the champions?
Exactly.
You're not undisputed in 2 different weight classes. You just unified.
Exactly.
So why you not fighting the other champions to get unified? Why you keep going around fighting people nobody want to see you fight?
Because you fighting people that you conveniently think you could beat.
Let's be honest. Real people who watch boxing knew he couldn't beat Bivol, but we ain't want to see him lose to Bivol. We want to see him lose to one of his peers, because that's an excuse when you lose to Bivol. Exactly. You can always say, "I'm only 5'7". I probably shouldn't have been here."
Yep.
But nobody making that excuse when he beat Kovalev. They say he was only 5'7". He shouldn't have been there.
Yep.
Now it's an excuse. Now he supposed to get props for losing.
Yep.
Canelo was never supposed to beat Kovalev.
Yep.
Canelo was never like that. Canelo can't beat Benavidez. He can't beat Charlo. He can't beat Andre. That's why he won't fight.
Yep. And that's why he
anybody Canelo know he could beat, he want to fight.
Yep.
Think about it. What type of motherfucker still calling out Floyd Mayweather Jr.? He's still trying to fight Floyd. He's like, well, if you gotta critique me, well, fight me. You got all these guys to fight, and you want to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr.?
Yep. And one correction: Jaron Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz is not going to be Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia. Jaron Ennis is not Errol Spence. That shit ain't going to be lopsided like you motherfuckers think.
Nah,
I believe that Virgil Ortiz is going to give Jaron Ennis fucking problems because Jaron Ennis don't fight like Errol Spence. I don't know why y'all motherfuckers keep thinking this motherfucker's like Errol Spence. Errol Spence is an error-filled fighter. Jaron Ennis is an unproven fucking prospect.
Virgil Ortiz gonna give him problems to the point where he could beat him.
Yes,
Virgil Ortiz could beat Ennis, man.
Yes,
if he trains to fight every second of every round, and to push him, he could beat him, man. That dude need too many breaks when he fight.
Yep.
He like Crawford. Crawford need a lot of breaks.
A lot of fucking breaks. Spence don't fight with breaks. Spence fight with unlimited pressure. He don't give you no breaks in the ring. So stop comparing these motherfuckers. They're not on the same level. And you show limited as fuck boxing knowledge when you try to compare Jaron Ennis with Errol Spence. They're not the same fighters.
D-Pain, he laying it out there, man. Canelo was a fucking duck, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All the motherfuckers he ducked, man. Took a franchise.
Yep.
Listen, whenever you take a franchise belt that protect you from mandatories and shit, people, it's to the point where they don't even care about the truth anymore. They just want a certain guy to be at the top.
Yep.
As long as whoever at the top of boxing is not black, they don't give a fuck how he got there.
Exactly.
The fact of the matter is, Canelo has always been a fraud, man.
Always. Smoke and mirrors.
I always smell boo-boo. I always smell shit, man. But
He
Canelo.
never was the boxer that y'all thought he was. Never.
Now the only thing now is it ain't smelling nowhere. Now you see the pile of shit.
You see the shit. You saw it in the Caleb Plant fight. What happened was Bivol just exposed it further. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Canelo Alvarez.
Caleb Plant, those are shit stains. Those are shit stains. Now we see the big. Now we see the big old pile of shit.
That's corn, a good one.
With corn in it and shit. You
should do a community post on that shit. It was shit stains with Caleb Plant, and we saw the pile of shit. Let me tell you why this fight, this loss, hurts his resume. Because it's y'all same motherfuckers. If Floyd would have lost at a weight class that he doesn't fight normally at, like let's say Floyd would have lost at 154, y'all would have held it over Floyd's head. He lost to such and such at 154. Yep. So why is the same rules not applying with Canelo Alvarez? Come on, man. Keep that same energy, dog. Keep that same energy, dog.
Nobody would have never said, oh, Canelo was 11 years younger and weighed 20 pounds heavier when he fought Floyd. That's why he won. They would have said, man, Canelo was a better man that night.
Exactly.
So we ain't making no excuse for Canelo, man. Canelo took his ass up there. He bit one too many cherries.
Yep.
One of those cherries has some spices on it.
Exactly.
one of those cherries has some ether on it.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, Bivol has his number. Bivol knows how to fight him. Bivol has his number, and Bivol knows how to fight him. So Bivol can beat Canelo with ease. The next time they fight, if they do have Bivol will beat him up even easier.
Yep.
Because he got his fucking number. It's kind of remind me of Sugar Shane Mosley when he fought Vernon Forrest. Vernon Forrest had his fucking number, man. He fought this motherfucker 3 straight times. That motherfucker washed his ass. He had his number. In boxing, you have a fighter that have a fighter's number and will wash that fighter. No matter how you train, no matter how you do this, how you do that. If Canelo is smart, he stays away from Bivol because every Bivol fight he fights after that, it's only gonna fuck his legacy up even worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Because now all it look like, all this shit, all it does is prove that what we've been saying all a while.
Yep.
You were ducking, man.
Yep.
That's all it proved, man. He did all this ducking. This undisputed shit don't mean nothing. Could you even fight the guy?
Bivol basically took out the aggression of Jamal Charlo, the aggression of Demetrius Andrade, and the aggression of David Benavidez and beat up. I don't know if y'all saw Canelo at the end of the presser. Canelo was hurt. Dimitri Bivol took some years off of that motherfucker. Like he punished him.
Man.
He punished him.
Yeah. His heart was broken, man, because you thought you was just gonna stake the rest of your career and just keep fighting motherfuckers. Nobody want to see you fight, and ESPN to keep calling you the greatest. Think about it. What do it matter if you undisputed at 168 if you ain't even fight the best guy at 168?
Exactly.
You ain't even fight Benavidez, motherfucker. So what do it care? It don't matter if you undisputed at 168.
His 168 lineage don't even stand with Andre Ward, man. It's disrespectful to even try to compare what Andre Ward did at the super fucking 8 versus Canelo fucking Alvarez, man. Don't even get me started, man. It's night and fucking day with those motherfuckers. Night and day.
Andre Ward is really fighting a real competition at 168. They had all those guys had to fight each other, man.
Yep.
If they did a Super 8 right now, Canelo Alvarez probably wouldn't even participate.
He wouldn't even make it to the second fight. He would have
he wouldn't participate. Canelo Alvarez, he'll go second fight. Canelo Alvarez, he'll go fight somebody. He'll go back down to 160. If they said we're gonna do a Super 8 with all the coders got to 168, Canelo Alvarez be like, man, I can't make. He'll say I can't make 168 no more.
Facts.
This motherfucker always got an excuse why he can't fight real competition.
Yep.
And think about it.
And
every time
those days are over because when you lose, let me tell you something about in the sport of boxing. That's why Floyd talks about that shit. Major setback, a minor setback for a major comeback. Why do you think Floyd said minor setback for a major comeback? Because at the end of the day, when you have the setback, you have to do something to get the comeback. Canelo's setback is what it is, a setback. So that means now he's put in a position to where he's going to have to do something to reprime his position for a major comeback. So in this instance, Canelo is in a precarious and a precocious situation where he has no choice in his next fight but to fight a fighter that boxing fans want him to fight. This is the only way he could drag his ass from this hole. If he doesn't do that, boxing fans are going to start criticizing him. Even boxing fans that you were seeing that was supporting him, they are now going to come out and say, this motherfucker right here is a cherry picker. They're going to start saying that shit.
He's going to have one fan. If he fight anybody except for the people he's supposed to fight, he's going to have one fan, Monnie Brown. That's the only person that's going to be his fan. Everybody else is going to be like, man, fuck that nigga, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Canelo fans cannot take a loss.
Yep.
When you try to make a loss and win, you're not taking a loss right. There's no winning and no loss. You lost, man. You can't say, this wasn't really a loss because I dared to be great.
Yep.
No, motherfucker, it was a loss.
You lost.
It was a loss, motherfucker. You don't dare to be great.
Yep.
You could have fought somebody.
Mikey Garcia can't even say no dare to be great. Mikey Garcia got his ass washed. When you fight somebody at a weight class, you get washed. Mike Room said Monnie Brown said he gotta watch the fight again. He was drunk last night. Are you fucking kidding me? And y'all buying that bullshit?
No. You know why he said that? Because listen, he tried to say boy got robbed. But not even his fan base tearing his ass up now. So now you gotta blame it on the liquor.
You gotta blame it on the liquor.
Now you gotta blame it on liquor. I was drunk.
You clearly been covering Canelo for a very long time because that's some shit Canelo will pull. This is the problem with every video you keep saying Canelo said.
First of all, the fight wasn't close like that. So even if you were drunk, you could have mistaken that ass whooping.
Exactly. Drunk niggas sober up when their fighters lose. So that drunk excuse is lame as fuck. I've seen these tostada, burrito, chalupa eating motherfuckers on their Tecate the whole night. Let their Mexican fighter lose, they sober up and they start cursing you out. So how the hell they sober up, but then you drunk as fuck and you need to go rewatch the fight again? Come on, man. I was born at night, not last night.
That fight wasn't close enough to have to rewatch.
Exactly.
All you see was one motherfucker whooping the other motherfucker the whole night. So what you got to rewatch?
Exactly. And that's why I told Monnie Brown, if you don't take this loss like on your chin and you don't come out with your public proclamation video to say that he knows and Tom Ross, I apologize to you guys. I was on some sucker shit. If you don't come out blatantly and do this, you are done, man. Not only are the people going to criticize you on your channel, you're going to be losing numbers and losing numbers left and right until your hair fucking pulls out. And all this time you've been spending months in and months out. You've been doing this shit over a year. Canelo said, no. Canelo said he fought the wrong cherry and got his ass whooped. Man, the fuck up now, man.
That's the thing, bro. That's the thing when you build your platform on a lie, bro.
Yep.
Because if he was really like that and he lost, your platform, it'll be solid. You know what I mean? But the fact that it's now coming to the open that this dude never was really like that.
Yep.
Now it's like, bro, you stood behind that? Like you rooted this shit on? It make you look bad.
Yep. See, IBFP is gonna survive. He's gonna submit. IBFP is gonna submit to me and Tom Ross. We already know that. He's gonna submit to us because he's smart. He's a little smart ass businessman. He's gonna submit to us. But he's gonna survive because he's been Canelo from day one. You unfortunately are not gonna survive because everyone knew you was on some turncoat, sellout, sucker shit. They knew that shit.
Canelo got his ass touched up, boy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He got his ass. Canelo was getting hit by all the same shots, and he was getting hit when he fought Floyd. He ain't learned a goddamn thing, man.
Exactly.
Niggas talking about Canelo like he was out of his prime. He only 31 years old. What the fuck is y'all talking about?
How the fuck he's out of his prime? These niggas.
Canelo out of his prime at 31, but Spence in his prime. It's like if you black, you could never be out your prime.
This is the problem with these black people, man. You see this with the modern day trash-filled black women, and you see this shit with these beta male black men. They always got a white devil's dick in their fucking mouth, man. I don't understand this shit. Why you still sucking Canelo's balls? To make excuse for him to sit here and say, well, you know, he's still a champion. He's still unified. You know, he still can go down the way. No, he fucking lost, man. Call this motherfucker out. Be done with it.
The fact that he unified and he went to another weight class to fight for no reason when he can make fights in those weight classes short tell you everything you need to know.
Everything you need to fucking know.
Why is he not defending his 168-pound undisputed title?
Yep.
That's what people want to see him defend that against Benavidez.
Yep.
And you win that without no PEDs. Then you start getting some respect.
You know what's going to happen, Tom Ross? Floyd Mayweather is going to use his power, and he's going to make a power play against Canelo. Because Floyd is so powerful in the sport of boxing. Floyd is boxing, and boxing is Floyd. Floyd is going to put out a proclamation to where Canelo is going to be in a conundrum where he has to fight a real fight.
He already did it.
Floyd is going to drop a statement. After this loss, he's going to drop a lethal fucking statement.
He already did it. Before the fight, he said, man, all Canelo does is cherry pick.
I know he said that. I'm just saying now, after the loss,
that's all he gotta say.
I'm telling you right now, Floyd gonna get on his ass because you know Floyd. One thing about Floyd, because he did that with Loma after Loma lost to Teofimo Lopez. There's a trend that I noticed with Floyd. Floyd did it after you Dennis Ugas fight. He gonna do that shit to Canelo. He gonna tell Canelo, look here, man. There's nowhere to run from David Benavidez. There's nowhere to run from Jamal Charlo. There's nowhere to run from Demetrius Andrade. He gonna box his ass in the fucking corner, verbally.
Floyd posted the win he won at Vegas because he betted against Canelo. He posted the money and shit. He took pictures of it. When a guy as great as Floyd betting against your skills, he's saying he don't respect you, man.
He don't. But Floyd said, I beat this nigga. I was almost 40 years old. He said he is easy work, man. He said,
y'all always say Canelo. What about steroids? Yep. You got to understand. They didn't like that. ESPN don't like that because they don't like when you bring up the dirt of non-black fighters.
Yep.
But we haven't seen Big Baby Miller in how long? Since he popped dirty?
Yep.
How come he can't box?
Big Titty Miller's been out of the ranks, dog.
How come he can't box no more? But Canelo get the box.
Exactly.
He pop dirty. Tyson Fury, they get the box. They pop dirty.
Yep.
When you non-white, you get to pop dirty as many times as you want. But if you black, you can't pop dirty once.
Exactly.
And they on your ass. You know what I'm saying?
They on your fucking rabbit ass.
Like, no, we gotta keep that same energy. So it don't matter what the fuck Canelo do, man. Canelo will never be a great fighter to me because he popped dirty and he always taking. It's always some shit with Canelo when he fight.
Yep.
Always something. Whenever it was a straight fight, he always looked bad.
I'm gonna tell you right now, he doesn't have a better chance with Benavidez. He actually has a worse chance because Benavidez is long. The motherfucker got reach. Benavidez got power, and Benavidez can stop Canelo, man. It is not easier. And Benavidez is gonna take risks that Bivol won't fucking take. I could tell you this shit right now. Canelo's in for a whirlwind fighting Benavidez. That's gonna be an even harder fight for him. He's gonna be in for it that whole fucking night because Benavidez is gonna come for blood.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get that shit twisted.
Canelo don't have a better chance of beating none of the guys he already done. Because if he did, he would have already fought on, man. Y'all not listening, man.
Yep.
Anybody he done duck is because he don't think he could beat them.
He can't
think
beat
about
them
it.
on Charlo.
The biggest fight. Right, and if he was fighting just for the money to make big fights, the biggest fight right now with Canelo is really Errol Spence. He will make that fight if he was fighting for the money. But he won't make that fight because he know he can't beat Errol Spence.
Because Spence will punish him.
He know he can't beat these guys. That's why he not fighting.
Can't.
Look at all the money he losing. He ain't make no money fighting against Bivol. Nobody saw that shit. That shit ain't no PPV. That shit came with the zone. Nobody watched the zone.
Exactly, because he was trying to fight a guy he thought was a cherry, and he fought the wrong fucking cherry.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened.
That cherry has some oregano on it. That cherry has some garlic powder on it. It was spicy. Right.
Woo. Red flake peppers.
Yeah, man.
Woo, that motherfucker
picked the Creole cherry. He picked the Creole cherry.
Yep.
It was too spicy. You know when you saw spicy, your jaw lock up? You know when you saw spicy, your jaw lock up in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah. You start like, damn. He said, what the fuck is this?
The spiciness where you start sweating in the back of your head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Oh, shit.
I said, well, too spicy for us, too hot in that kitchen for him. Listen, man, that's what happens, man. That's how you know you're not great.
So David Benavidez's defense is suspect, but Canelo's ducking him. You sound foolish, man. If his defense is so suspect, why is Canelo ducking him? You sound foolish.
He don't have the best defense, but at the same time, Canelo don't want to fight him because he got power and he fast.
Yeah.
You got to think about it. Anybody Canelo duck is because he don't think he could beat him, man.
He don't think he could beat him.
Why would he fight Billy Joe Saunders when he can fight Benavidez?
Exactly.
If Benavidez is so suspect. He is sus. Yep. But if he's so suspect, why he ain't fight him?
Yeah.
Because Canelo don't want to take them type of shots. That's why.
He don't want to take the risk.
He don't want to take those shots.
So if a person is so suspect, like you say, why isn't Canelo fighting him? See, these are the questions you need to
whenever it's a I say ethnic. So even if it's a Mexican, that Mexican like he black, they want that Mexican to be perfect.
Yep.
So Canelo David's defense is sus, but Canelo's getting hit at will all day yesterday. So his defense.
What about Canelo's head movement? What about his foot movement? What about his defense?
Right. Billy Joe Saunders is trash. Nobody said nothing about Billy Joe Saunders' defense.
Yep.
He was getting whooped. Nobody said nothing about
I told you
a
long time ago Canelo's defense was overrated like a motherfucker.
Right. Nobody said nothing about Yidaim defense.
Yep.
Y'all didn't even know he existed. Motherfuckers just, and when he was getting ready to fight Macaboo, people were trying to big that up to be a good fight. Like Macaboo, man. Like Macaboo, he has quick feet.
Yep.
I said, man, y'all lying, man. Y'all ain't know Macaboo existed just last year. That's the thing, man. This motherfucker don't want to fight nobody who not gonna just stand there. And he thought dude was gonna be flat-footed and he could just stand there and wail on him. That's all Canelo do now.
No, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. Demetrius Andrade will outpoint him. Charlo will KO him. Charlo's more powerful than Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade is more of a boxer. You got this shit wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's the other way around.
That's the thing, man. And he's exposed now to the fullest.
Yep.
To the fullest extent of the law. This motherfucker is fucking exposed.
Yep.
You can make all the excuses you want. Only thing excuses gonna do is make it worse.
Yep.
He out of his prime. He only 31 years old, man. Coach Joe, salute.
Hello,
He only
Coach
31
Joe,
years.
salute, man. Appreciate it.
He only 31 years old. How you out of his prime?
Yep. They're making
How the fuck you out
excuses for Canelo Alvarez. Not only are they saying he's out of his prime, they're sitting here and saying that Canelo Alvarez, his skills have diminished. I don't want to hear none of that shit, man.
He never had no
what
skills
y'all
like
thought
that. He was
had.
never like that.
He was never that nice. I don't know where y'all
was
thinking
never like
Canelo was
that.
nice in the first place. He never was nice. He never learned anything from the Floyd Mayweather fight. What he learned, and then we're going to regurgitate this again, he learned to stay away from elite black fighters. That's what he learned.
That's all he learned.
That's all he fucking learned.
All the shit you thought he thought he was getting nice because he was fighting against trash.
Canelo was always a slugger.
Let's think
because
about
if Canelo learned something, he shouldn't have got hit as much as he did by Triple G. Didn't Floyd say Triple G is no special effects up and down?
Straight up and down.
Straight up and down.
He said, man, Triple G easy work, man.
Yep.
He said Triple G easy work, man. Only thing he is big. He said he's straight up and down, no special effects.
Exactly.
Triple G ain't want to come down to 154. Floyd's gonna fight him at 154. He ain't want to come down. He knew he was gonna get whooped.
Canelo never got better. Canelo never learned anything. What Canelo learned after Floyd and prior to that, Errol because Errol don't get credit for this shit. He schooled Canelo bad, man. After those two fights, Canelo said, you know what? I never want to fight against elite black fighters. Fuck that bullshit. That shit is going to expose my boxing career. I'm staying far away from that shit. And y'all fell for the Kool-Aid because y'all thought he was looking so good against non-elite black fighters. And then when he did fight back fighters in James Kirkland, they didn't give James Kirkland and Wolf. And then with Danny Jacobs, they did rehydration clause with him. Come on, man. Don't get me started.
Danny Jacobs coming off having cancer all over his body, man.
Yes. Cancer.
And the first motherfucker who said they wanted to box him, fucking Canelo, man. Canelo was jumping to fight him.
Yep.
Why you ain't jumping to fight Charlo?
Yep.
If you could beat him.
Yep.
Since when fighters turn down undisputed because they know I know I could beat him, so I ain't gonna fight him.
Yep.
You ain't gonna fight Andre for undisputed because you know you could beat him. That ain't make no sense. And people took that as a real excuse. They gave Canelo sympathy rounds, man. That fight was nowhere near 115, 113, man. That gonna show you right there. If dude didn't dominate Canelo, they was gonna rob him, man.
Yep. And why motherfuckers lying? See, this is the thing that I'm talking about. Why motherfuckers are lying on YouTube and saying Dimitri Bivol agreed to fight Canelo at 168. Niggas like Blue Blood Sports TV. This is why I tell you what's wrong with these on the fence motherfuckers. Why would he give up his advantage?
No, my thing is, why would he go to 168 when he had an undisputed coming up?
Exactly. That shit don't make no fucking sense.
That's a problem with boxing, man.
They always want to make up bullshit narratives.
That's a fight you're not supposed to be promoting.
Exactly.
You're supposed to always be promoting fighters to be undisputed, to fight the next champion.
Yep.
Not to go around and do shit that ain't got nothing to do with undisputed.
Exactly.
The next fight for him is Better Beef.
Yep.
Or whoever win that fight between Better Beef and Joe Smith. That's the next fight.
If y'all was holding Canelo accountable, y'all would say, Canelo, get your ass in the back of the line. That's boxing. When you lose, you got to get back to the back of the line and start all over again. Come on. The fuck?
To the back. Canelo got some belts at 168. Defend your 168 title against Benavidez.
I'm going to tell you right now, salute to Tom Ross. I'm going to salute my brother because he brought that shit up with Fanon. Salute. You see, he said these niggas always be backdooring. They on the fence with Canelo. Look at what Blue Blood is doing right now. On the fence, backdoor. Why are you promoting they should fight a rematch at 168? The fuck? How does that help you and your elite black fighters cause? This is when you should be pushing videos out saying, what the fuck about Jamal Charlo? What the fuck about Charlo? Andrade? Come on, man.
Fight Charlo. If you're not pushing a Charlo fight, an Andre fight right now, a Benavidez fight, then you're not pushing the right fight.
Exactly.
This is what they need to do. If we go back to 160, then he got to fight Charlo. He got to fight Andre. One of them, he got to fight. If you go back to 168, he got to fight Benavidez. Nobody else. We don't want to see him against nobody else. If he don't fight none of those guys, we don't care.
Well, we know damn well the latest news an hour ago says he's non-committal on a rematch with Dimitri Bivol or him fighting Triple G. So clearly you're making up a pandering narrative to say that he's going to fight Dimitri Bivol 168. This is the problem that I have with these motherfuckers.
They're trying to pick up the fence. They're trying to pick up the stray Canelo fans. That's all they're trying to do. Because they know Canelo fans are the type, they jump at anything that sounds good, not what's the truth. anything that sounds, because some people, they're not competitive in life.
Yep.
So they don't really want to win. They want to be, they want to win, but they don't want to be victorious. It's two different things.
Exactly.
You can set yourself for a win that's really smoke and mirrors, but when you really win, you're victorious.
Exactly.
You want to win, they don't want to be victorious. And when you win, you can win at. Some people believe if you're not cheating, you're not trying. They believe in that shit. They believe in cheating. They believe the easy way out. This is why these people, they complain, I'm getting big, I'm getting fat. They don't never lose the weight.
Exactly.
They'll never change anything.
Yep.
They just want the sympathy. No. When you're a winner at heart, when you're a victorious motherfucker, and if you can't stand to see yourself in the mirror, you do something about it.
Exactly. You figure that shit out.
I never insecure about me. Whenever I look in the mirror, if I don't like what I see, I don't tell nobody. I just start doing something about it.
Exactly.
You know, motherfuckers like, man, you lost weight. Like, yeah, I got up in the gym, sure. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't be like, man, I'm getting fat, and no, I don't make no excuses. Like, that's the type of people. These people who are fans of him are. They want to hear people sympathy. They want to hear sympathy. They want moral victories. Well, at least he with the 175. He was already at 175. He didn't go up 175. He already had a title at 175.
Yep.
That he vacated because he didn't want to fight Bitter Beef.
Exactly.
Then when
Ross is cooking, man. That motherfucker cooking, dog.
He vacated because he didn't want to fight no real guy at 175. Right? Then he come back to 175 when Bitter because he think I could take this belt for Bivol.
Yep.
Fuck around, you got stopped in the 12th round, man.
Yep.
Listen, man. Canelo Alvarez, what y'all going through right now is cognitive dissonance.
Whoosh.
You can't believe what you saw because you've been getting told all your life it's something else that is not.
Yep.
You've been getting told that, man.
And y'all been sipping that fucking Kool-Aid.
You've been getting told that shit. A lot of black women is going through cognitive dissonance.
Yep.
They believe all this time that there's certain white people that's for their better interest.
Exactly.
There's certain white people that love them, that care about them. They went off to college. People were nice to me. Now they're starting to realize all that shit was a mirage. They never gave a fuck about you. They just wanted to keep
shit.
They just wanted to keep you working for them and keep your family separated.
Yep. Keep you divided.
As long as your family separated, you could then step into these job opportunities that we got to where you build up our companies because somebody got to make money and we don't want no black man to get this job.
And keep shitting on the black man and keep talking bad about the black man. That's what they want you to do.
That's what they want you to do.
So basically, when Ross is talking about cognitive dissonance, he's basically telling you, y'all motherfuckers are sipping the Kool-Aid when we break that shit down on hood term. Y'all sipping that fucking Kool-Aid and y'all don't understand the Kool-Aid y'all been sipping has put y'all in a trance. The elongated trance to the point to now y'all making fucking excuses that just don't even make no fucking sense. Canelo Alvarez is the biggest fraud in boxing. He's the most overrated boxer, period, ever. It's not even fucking close.
Not close. It's not even close because at least, even though Tyson Fury is a cricket motherfucker, he is skilled.
Yep.
At least you can't say he can't box.
Yep. You gotta give him that. That motherfucker, his herky jerky style. That motherfucker can herky your ass up.
Power don't come from nowhere. So if you never have power, you don't just get power. You don't gain power. Power
He has a snappy punch at best.
Right. Power is natural. So all the power you seeing him come up with all of a sudden, that's them gloves, man.
Yep.
I've been boxing. I know this shit, man. Motherfuckers who hit hard all the time. Yep. They don't just come out of nowhere and start hitting hard and shit.
Yep.
Either something that happened, PEDs, or you got to check them gloves. Something going on with them gloves, man.
Yep.
But But one thing we can't say is Tyson Fury can't box. He can fight.
Exactly.
But with Canelo, we don't know what the fuck we've been seeing, man. Because every time he gets some, every time he in there, is no advantage his way. Even one time it was an advantage his way. He just didn't have a mental advantage, but he had all the other advantages with Floyd. Youth, size, age, right? Still lost. No. You can't enhance power.
Yep.
Can't enhance power. Tyson Fury has came forward many times before.
Yep.
Many times before he's come forward. You can't enhance power. And being big, being fat, don't make you powerful.
Yep.
That don't make you powerful. You have to have natural power.
Yep.
Notice when he changed the gloves, all of a sudden he started having power. It's not that hard.
That was a fact.
Him changing the trainers was just a distraction.
Yep.
When he changed those gloves, all of a sudden he hit hard enough to break somebody's cranium.
Yep.
But he don't break his hand.
Yep.
Somebody's head is harder than your hand. So if you let's say if you wasn't Mike Tyson can't even break nobody's skull.
Yep.
Let's say you are able to break somebody's skull, you definitely have to break your hand to do it.
Yep.
Right? How the fuck you not breaking your hand? What the fuck is in that glove to where you could break a piece of somebody's skull, but you don't damage your hands?
There you go. Great fucking point.
Don't have no common sense, man. I only blame Deontay Wilder because he didn't have the right circle around him.
Yep.
Deontay Wilder's still the man in my eyes.
Yep.
Because I don't think that's
he went an elongated time. He was listening to beta males. And that's the thing. When you listen to beta males, that put you in a beta male precarious situation.
His circle had him out there bad. Deontay Wilder was a cash cow, not him.
Yep.
He ain't need him for that fight. What has Tyson Fury done without Deontay Wilder's name attached? The last fight only sold
11K. 11K.
He let that man use him, man.
Yep.
All Deontay Wilder said, you know what? I'm not fighting if you wear these gloves, bro. Straight up. Because all of a sudden, you never had no power. All of a sudden, you could break something on me. He ain't never had that type of power, man.
Yep.
And notice, Spence is breaking. This part of your face can be broken. It's not as strong as the cranium. It's the head, and the cranium is a different part of the head. It's the hardest part of the head.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of your head too, but your orbital, you could break somebody's orbital bone.
Yep.
Just like you break somebody's jaw. That's part of the head too. You can't break nobody's cranium with your fist without breaking your hand.
Exactly.
It's impossible. The hand will break first.
Gervonta Tank Davis has heavy hands. And what happened when he tried to do that with Cruz? He broke his hand.
He broke his hand because he hit him on the top of his head.
Yep.
He broke his shit.
So how the hell does Gervonta Tank Davis that has heavy hands break his hand, but Tyson Fury doesn't break his hand? I mean, come on, y'all not thinking.
All boxers be breaking their hands when they hit people in the head. You know how many times Floyd Mayweather broke his hand? All boxers, when they hit you in a certain place, they have a possibility of breaking their hands. But Tyson Fury, not only do he hit you in your cranium, but he break a piece of your cranium.
Yep.
And his hand's good. He ain't hurt. His shit ain't broken.
Yep.
Y'all thought that shit was normal? That go to show you when people want somebody to win, when they want to see somebody on top, they will ignore even physics, man.
They'll ignore facts.
It's physically impossible for that to happen. They'll ignore physics, science.
Yep.
Science.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Canelo, it's not that people don't know. They know now he's a fraud. The cognitive dissonance. It can't be in their mind.
They sipping that.
They believe that shit.
Yep.
So it can't be. It's kind of like when if you ever have a girl to cheat on you and you find out, and the whole time you was confident that bitch will never cheat on me.
If Shakur fights Tank, Shakur's not gonna pick no damn Tank apart. I don't know what Kool-Aid you sipping on. I like Shakur Stevenson, but if Shakur Stevenson fights Tank, Shakur Stevenson gonna get stopped, man. Tank's too powerful.
Shakur Stevenson gonna get stopped.
For that to become a real fight, Shakur needs 3 more years for it to become a legitimate close fight, and that's to make it a close fight. Right now, he fights Tank. Tank is gonna stop him, man.
All the fuck they gonna do? They're not gonna give Tank no credit. They're gonna say Shakur wasn't ready. They're gonna say,
well, it's okay to have your opinion, but we giving you facts.
Yeah, my thing is
Tank right now, Tank will stop him.
My thing is, if you have an opinion,
wrong, man.
If you have an opinion, you should know that your opinion has to. You have to know that your opinion got to stand up to something.
Exactly.
Like, so, okay, it's right. You're right. You got your opinion. We got our opinion. We don't got to agree, but your opinion should be more than just a statement.
So Jamel Herring is Gervonta Tank Davis, Oscar Valdez is Gervonta Tank Davis. Come on, man.
I feel this way,
and those are championship fights he had back to back. But let's not get the shit twisted. Those motherfuckers are nowhere near Gervonta Tank Davis level. Nowhere near.
Now, people don't realize this, and I think this comes from just the feminine energy in this world. Your opinion ain't facts, and your opinion do got to be backed up by something. You can't just say, "Oh, I don't like this guy." Well, why not? Well, it's just my opinion. Yep. You know, you have to back up what you said. You don't like this guy because of what?
Yep.
I don't really have no reason. I just don't like him. That's the feminine shit.
Yep.
You have a opinion,
Davis.
That's fine.
Gervonta Davis stopped a 147-pounder in sparring. Gervonta Tank Davis washed a 140-pounder in Mario Barros. I have not seen Shakur Stevenson fight anybody that heavy. Come on, man. Like, we're giving you facts here.
Shakur Stevenson would get stopped, man.
He would get fucking stopped.
Because he hasn't fought the type of competition that will allow for him to take the punishment that he'll be in for. And he don't
even
hit
Shakur
hard.
Even Shakur told you that will be a great super fight in years to come. That's how much he respects Gervonta Tank. He never get out of pocket with Tank. He get out of pocket with Devin Haney. He know he could wash. Now that's the one you should be talking about. Shakur Stevenson will wash Devin Haney. He tell you straight up, man, Devin Haney's not on my level. But when he talks about Tank, he says that's a super fight for a few years to come because he knows he ain't ready for Tank, man.
Shakur Stevenson stay far away from Tank Davis, man.
Exactly.
She should stay far away from him, man. That's not what he want, man.
They're not on the same level, man. They're not on the same pay grade. They're not on the same trajectory.
It'll be animal. It'll be so bad that it could potentially ruin his career if he fight him too early.
Exactly. Especially if he fights him prematurely like that. In 3 years from now, Shakur Stevenson will just become ready to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. That's my assessment of it. 3 years from now, and that's being on the play it safe side.
And he has to take some fights to where he has to come out of some wars.
Yep.
To be ready. You know what got Floyd Mayweather ready to fight those bigger guys and shit, and the wild guys like Maidana that's big as hell, hit hard and fight because he was in wars early on in his career.
Yep.
So if he had to walk through some fire, he could walk through some fire. Shakur had to walk through any fires to put him in a ring with no bull. That's a bull, man. That's a raging bull.
Like Ross said eloquently when we was talking about this shit offline, we haven't seen Shakur Stevenson hurt yet, and him bounce back from being hurt. So we don't even know what that fucking looks like. Right. I've seen Gervonta Tank Davis get hit with shots. Shit, he got hit in shots in that fight against Cruz. And he was bouncing back like ain't shit. The Leo Santa Cruz fight, Leo Santa Cruz was hitting Gervonta Tank Davis with everything in the kitchen sink. And Tank was still in the pocket fighting this motherfucker. So we know what Tank is about. We know what he's about.
Can't keep him off him. The only thing Shakur Stevenson, even then, because Tank could box too. The only thing Shakur Stevenson could have to hope for is that Tank going there trying to be go box for boxing with him and don't just walk him down to beat him up. That's the only chance he'll have. Even then, it'll be a close fight if they just box and Tank don't just walk through him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Even then, it'll be a close fight because Shakur Stevenson ain't that much better of a boxer than Tank. They split hairs.
Yep.
They splitting hairs at that point because Tank can box his ass off. Tank will take a chance to knock you out because he know you can't take his power.
Exactly.
But think about it. When he broke his hand, he was boxing his ass off against Cruz.
Yep.
Because he had no choice.
Turning that motherfucker around, man. Turning that motherfucker around.
Yeah, I got to box this motherfucker now because I'm going to fuck my hand up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Shit.
This is what we talk about when we say cognitive dissonance. Motherfuckers are sipping the Kool-Aid, man. Just because motherfuckers see somebody become a champion at a certain weight class, all of a sudden they're ready for somebody else. Bullshit, man. I'm gonna tell you who Shakur Stevenson is ready for. You can watch him. Is Devin Haney.
But here's the thing: just the reason why they will say that with black fighters, That's a natural instinct. You want to know why? Because black fighters, guess what? They have to fight each other at some point.
Exactly.
With his Mexican fighters, they don't say that.
They don't say that. That's
Still
why
to
they
this
making
day,
excuses for Canelo.
Still to this day, when Canelo win, they don't say, "Oh, he need to fight the next. He need to fight Benavidez." They don't say that shit. Niggas be like, "Canelo won."
We just saw a nigga make an excuse earlier that basically said Canelo can go and fight whoever he wants. He's unified and he's a champion in so many different places. So Ross is right. Y'all make excuses for Canelo, but y'all want to sit here when it's a black fighter and say all kinds of backward, wayward shit.
All the black fighters gotta fight each other as soon as possible.
Yep.
They don't even want them to build up the fight. They're trying to say Errol Spence ducked Crawford because he ain't fight Crawford right away. Who, if they wasn't fighting for undisputed, why would they fight?
Exactly.
Who cares about the WBO belt? They only care about the WBO belt if they have all the other belts.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And the WBO always is the weakest welterweight.
Yep.
Because Crawford any that much better than the Ugas? I don't think so.
Nah. I'm going to tell you who Crawford is. I'm going to tell you who Crawford is, and it's going to piss motherfuckers off. Crawford is Mikey Garcia 2.0. That's what the fuck he is, man. He's a Mikey Garcia 2.0. He's just a little bit better than Mikey Garcia. That's what I told you. This is going to be one of the easiest fights that Errol Spence fought in a very long time at 147. It's going to be a wash.
Just going to feel just like when Floyd beat Manny Pacquiao easy. You waited all this time, and you waited all this time, and the fight not going to live up to expectations because the expectation is wrong.
Yep.
But Crawford not like that.
Exactly.
And he never was. So when Spence walked through him, people, it's going to be, they're going to say, "Oh, it was boring. They made us wait this long for this." It's going to be all these complaints. Spence was just bigger than him. Like, no. At the end of the day, that motherfucker decided to come to 147.
Yep.
This is what you get. Spence is a real 147 pounder. That's how they supposed to be. Floyd was an undersized 147. Spence is a real welterweight. They supposed to be big.
Crawford was supposed to be a fighter that was always supposed to be one weight class under Spence. He fucked up and jumped to 147 and then started doing the call-out shit. He fucked up and did that. He should have stayed his ass at 140, and then once Spence completely cleared 147, then he should have jumped up to 147. That's what he should have been, one weight class away. Always one weight class down. He fucked up.
Crawford was supposed to just been getting to 140, like I say 2 years ago.
Yep.
Because think about it, he wasted time in 147. He wasted time in 147. He has barely started fighting real welterweights, and after Spence already beat him, so he wasted time.
Yep.
Crawford has not done anything to build this fight. Nothing. He has not fought. No competition.
Lazy motherfucker.
Absolutely nothing.
And that's why he gonna get washed, man. This motherfucker gonna get washed.
He next on the totem pole to get exposed.
Yes. Notice a trend. Manny Pacquiao, then Canelo Alvarez, then Terrence Crawford. Nigga gonna get washed.
And don't think nigga just counted Canelo because he's Mexican. No. Don't think we just counted Canelo on fan base. Fan base is Mexican. No. Terrence Bud Crawford fan base gonna get clowned too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I already told y'all, I'm laughing at y'all motherfuckers a year, leading up to a year after the fight. From the fight all the way to a year after, for 12 months, I'm going to laugh at y'all. Because y'all sat here and thought that this fight was 50-50. There's no such thing as 50-50. If you give 50% of yourself, you are a 50-50 motherfucker. There's 100 and 0. You make a pick, you lay on that bad boy, and you double down on confidence and fortitude. Make a definitive pick. Either you with Spence or you with Crawford. There's no such thing as 50-50. That shit don't exist. It don't fucking exist. I respect motherfuckers that out the gate say I'm Terrence Crawford all the way. I respect them. Even though Terrence Crawford gonna get washed, I respect them for that. But if you are Errol Spence fan, don't do that on the fence shit. Don't be like, yeah, I'm a Spence fan, but I think the fight is 50-50. Then you're not a Spence fan. Because a true Spence fan know Terrence Crawford is too light in the ass. He's gonna get washed. You're definitive in your decision.
Terrence Crawford has done absolutely nothing.
Yep.
For anyone to say that this fight is 50-50, they don't know who's gonna win, who's gonna lose.
Yep.
He has done nothing at 147 to solidify that. He has done nothing. He hasn't fought the competition that's gonna take for him. Man, I'll be surprised if Terrence Crawford don't get stopped.
Man, Errol Spence, ever since he called out Crawford, he has not pulled no punches. He said 38-1 is still going to look like a great record. Y'all thought Spence was ducking him. Spence been talking shit to his ass. Spence told him when Crawford kept running his mouth. When Crawford kept running his mouth, Spence said, we're going to wait until the bell rings. Say less. We're going to wait until the bell ring. And wait until the bell ring and I start hitting you. We're going to see if you're going to be talking then. I haven't heard Crawford talk shit since. Because Crawford felt that one. He was like, fuck. That mean this nigga gonna come to punish me. He knew it.
Yeah.
He knows it. Fighters know other fighters' temperatures. He knew that temperature. He knew what the fuck that shit meant. Like, I don't know why you keep talking. You talk more, I'm gonna punish your ass more. I haven't seen Crawford talk shit to Spence since. Bomac looks so uncomfortable in shit talking, it's not even funny. He ain't even shit talking right. They know what's gonna happen, man. They fucking know. Why you think Derrick James said athleticism is fleeting? Derrick James said, if I'm Terrence Crawford, this is how much he knows Spence gonna watch Crawford. He said, if I'm Terrence Crawford, I better be watching Spence fights. This is what Derrick James said. I don't watch Terrence Crawford. Watch him. I only watch a fighter when my fighter is getting ready to train the fighter. Up until then, I don't need to watch him. I don't need to waste my time watching him. If anything, Crawford needs to be paying attention and prepping as hard as he can for Spence. Spence don't need to prep for no damn Crawford. Because I done told y'all Crawford is smoking mirrors.
Crawford's best chance would have been fighting the undisciplined Spence. Now that Spence, because the undisciplined Spence still would have beat Crawford. But at least he would look better.
His shit would have been a UD.
Right, but now that Spence is fucking disciplined and take care of his body, I wouldn't be surprised if Spence I'm talking about wash him boxing wise and then stop him.
Man, that shit gonna look worse than you did. You guys have to understand. Your Dennis Ugas came in heavy as fuck. It's fight night. Your Dennis Ugas is a big dude. Your Dennis Ugas is really like a 154 pounder. And Spence washed his body, man. He washed him. Crawford is not big. Crawford is not sturdy like Ugas. Ugas stood on his shield, but Ugas's body gave up. Crawford is not going to be able to stand on his shield, and his body's going to fold, and it is going to give up. That's going to be the difference. Y'all going to see Crawford fold in the ring. Y'all going to be like, what the fuck? Spence going to make him fold like a pretzel, man. I'm telling y'all, this shit going to be so lopsided, it ain't even funny.
Both Fat won't say nothing after they put that video of him getting knocked out and spitting up gravy. Yeah, exactly. I had to drop that video on my channel, man.
Yeah,
because you can't say Errol Spence basic and you getting and first of all you in there sloppy as fuck. You're supposed to be an athlete, and you get you get stopped.
Yep,
get hit with clean uppercuts from long distance.
Yep. And when the fellow Double Dragons dropped that video, I focused more on the bullshit exchange on Twitter when Crawford was sitting there running his mouth, and then Spence told him, I saw it, man. Once Spence told him, once that bell ring, ding, ding, let's see if you keep talking. I haven't seen Terrence Crawford tweet ever since. He's scared, man. He's fucking scared.
Listen,
Spence basically G-checked him, man. That was a G-check tweet, though. Meaning, I'm coming to punish your ass.
Don't be surprised if you see Crawford doing a lot of illegal shit in the fight, just trying to survive, throwing low blows, all type of shit, because he knows he's in this fighting for his life, man.
Yep.
What people don't realize is, what y'all think Crawford is not that.
Yep.
That's why I tell people, anything associated with Bob Arum be smoking mirrors until they prove themselves. Shakur Stevenson proved himself to me, so he ain't smoking mirrors. But everybody else is always smoking mirrors, dog.
Yep. Spence said it, man. Top Rank promotes smoking mirrors. Terrence Crawford is smoking mirrors.
That's it. They'll never be that nice. De La Hoya ass was smoking mirrors.
That's the problem with y'all boxing fans. Y'all not definitive. I could tell that y'all not definitive individuals in y'all lives by the way that y'all do shit. Y'all on the fence with decision making when it comes to women. Y'all on the fence when it comes to decision making when it deal with your finances. Y'all on the fence when it's decision having to do with anything. And y'all take that shit and bring it into boxing and be on the fence with that shit. I'm definitive in everything that I do, good, bad, or the ugly. Whether the consequences are for the good or whether the consequences are for the bad or the ugly, I am definitive.
Mm-hmm.
The decision is made, and I don't even look back. If it was a bad decision, I learn from the shit. If it's a good decision, I move on from the shit. But anyways, man, y'all motherfuckers need to donate to fucking motivate. And any closing thoughts you got, Tom Ross?
No, that's everything I had to say, man. Canelo's a fraud. And stay tuned because more frauds are going to get exposed. Stay
This was
tuned.
a hell of a live. Everyone that tuned in, we appreciate y'all. Thank you for all of the donations, super chats. We really appreciate y'all. But at the end of the day, we revealed 3 things. Money Brown or Money Clown, however the fuck you want to call it, TB, channel is officially done. The only way his channel can resurrect, public proclamation apology, He Knows Everything, and Tom Ross's TV's name need to be mentioned in that public proclamation. If it's not mentioned, sorry to tell you, that sucker sellout shit is gonna sting you. IBFP, you know what you got to do. Submit. And all of these Canelo fanboys, these Mexican boxing community fan bases, y'all need to go to their Facebook pages. Y'all need to go everywhere. I think these motherfuckers on suicide watch. Y'all you go pay attention to them because I think they're not around. Like, they're really mad right now because now they don't even have a Mexican fighter that they can promote to say he is this, he is that. Who do they have? They had Canelo. Now Canelo's lost. So who the fuck do they have? Boxing has been restored back to its natural order. Spence is the real face of boxing. Last night proved it. Last night certified it. And guess what? Terrence Crawford is fucking next. Notice the order. Manny Pacquiao first, Canelo Alvarez, and then Terrence Crawford. And then after that happens, we don't want to hear shit from y'all motherfuckers. There's going to be a lot of crow eating and a lot of crying that's going to happen on YouTube. I'm going to say it again. A lot of crow eating and a lot of crying that's going to happen on YouTube. It's been real with y'all. Y'all be easy. Y'all take care. Y'all have a great Sunday. Peace.